half a lap, but he'll come through. It'll be a quick time, a 1:04.05. Only 1 second behind Ryan Elliott for the young under-19 rider. So good time from Tom Choi. He'll set the fastest time.
See, Gibbs then went out. The didn't have another disc to put on, so I don't think that would have made a lot of difference. But he went back out with a standard wheel.
So it looks like we have no Alex Hughes for that event. So it'll be Tom Choi. He'll walk home with the gold. It'll be Luke Ricard with a great ride taking home the silver. And Toby Jones missing out on the silver by 0.01 of a second, but going home with a bronze medal. So
yeah, just be aware, that's our times that we have down here, and we hope they're the same as the officials. But normally what we do is we tend to hope that the officials agree with us.
I hope so. We're just going off the scoreboard, so
yeah, that's as all we can do. So hopefully it'll be all good.
We're not using our stopwatches from Kmart for this one. We're looking at the line and.
You use a stopwatch. I go 1,000, 2,000, 3,000.
All right, here we go into our elite and junior 19 women's sprint quarterfinals.
There will be some good matchups amongst this. And remember that a lot of these girls are used to racing each other, so there will be some good racing in amongst this. So we'll just wait till our officials are ready to start this event off, and then we'll get underway with some more commentary and hopefully some exciting racing. Am I cold?
Is that?
Push that on.
I'll turn that off. Tells me yesterday I walked out of here, my back was frozen. Oh.
You want to be cool, you don't want to be easy.
Yeah.
I'll show you something what happened to me.
Okay, so this is our quarterfinal here. We'll have Sandra Stoy. Sandra Stoy will be up against Alessia McCaig in this quarterfinal matchup. Now this is the winner will go through to the semi, and the remainder will go to the 7 and 8 and 5 and 6 write-off. So it's still no best of 3 here in the quarterfinals. It's win and you're through, lose and you are racing for a place later on this afternoon.
19.
So McCaig and Stoy down the back straight. Stoy coming through the repechage. She'll want to keep a good eye on McCaig. She's been fast over the last couple of days. Stoy just protecting that sprinters lane as they come around 3 and 4. 1 lap down, 2 to go. Stoy starts to increase the speed now as McKay goes high.
Still got that up there.
Down the back straight, 1.5 laps to go. Stoy's going to try and go early. No, she pushes McCaig up. Here's the tactics coming in. McCaig trying to out-sprint Stoy down the front straight. Stoy looks on. She's got position. She's holding McCaig up high as they go into 1 and 2. She holds her up at the stayers line. Oh, there's a touch of wheels as McCaig went into the back wheel of Stoy.
Yes, that's a bit of an unfortunate event there, but you can see it about to happen. The riders, as they do, you're moving up and down over the track. You've got to be very aware of an overlap of wheels. And remember, when there's an overlap, it's the rider at the back will always go down. As soon as that front wheel touches, down they go. It's an incident that happens. It's unfortunate. We don't like to see it.
So there's a lot of tactics in there. They stayed up right around the stayers line, Billy.
Well, that's where they wanted to be because Sandra was trying to keep McCaig up there as long as she could, knowing that McCaig had a much faster finishing time. So Stoy was trying to delay the initial sprint for as long as she could. McCaig not moving over there. We'll just wait now till first aid arrives.
We'll have a short pause and we'll come back to racing shortly.
Short pause. What little dogs have?
Short pause.
What?
It took a while to.
24 should be all right.
Yeah. Just take it off and it just gets hot straight away.
Yeah. This is what happens to me.
Oh.
With the white parts, no blood.
Yeah. Far out.
I wish you had a pair of binoculars right now.
Mm. Mm.
And I'm not understanding the rating.
Yeah, what does it hold on? Mm.
See, when she said it looks like it was, because what happens is when you enter your sprint proper and you say, when's that decided upon? And I said, this is made by the commissaire.
Yeah.
So we can make the commissaire, you can say the sprint's on, I can say it's off.
Yeah.
But it says, no, it's not, they're not sprinting yet.
Yeah. I don't think they will. Because
No,
up
they're
at
still
the
playing.
stairs now. Yeah. Stairs now.
I agree with that.
You keep listening to that. All right, our next matchup out on the track now. Got Ala Liang. She's up against the Sophie Watts. So Liang and Watts now. Good to see McCaig. She's back up on her feet from the last sprint up. The commissaire's having a good look at that matchup between the two riders from McCaig and Stoy. Into this matchup we go. It's Watts and Liang. Liang going up high. She's going to try and disrupt Watts' rhythm as they come through. Really going to make her try and watch left and right as they come round. Ala Liang glued to her back wheel with a lap and a half to go. Watts having to watch the whole time.
The other thing now too is those two young women just watched what happened a minute ago, so that's going to be playing on their mind as they don't let it happen to me.
So Watts with a good starts the sprint. Ala Liang trying to get back on terms. It's about a bike length. Ala Liang not able to bridge that gap as they go into 3 and 4. She's really pushing, trying to get through, but it'll be Watts will come through with a win. Just over the top of Ala Liang. So Watts will go through to the semis. Ala Liang will go through.
Just on that previous ride there with that fall, with the sprinters, there are rules about when you can and can't move in and out of the sprinters lane. The riders had come down into the sprinters lane, but they hadn't started their sprint. Years ago, it used to be once you entered the final 200, that was considered the start of your sprint. But now the decision's made by the commissaire as to when they think you've entered your sprint proper. So, but being a bike length in front, they come down in over there, but the riders hadn't started their sprint, so they can come in and out of that red lane so long as you've got a bike length clear or moving forward. And then the riders went up to the middle of the line, and then they started moving around in position. So we just wait for a decision by the commissaires, but it's probably will come back to an unfortunate racing incident.
So next up on track, it'll be McGill and McLennan. Lil coming through the repechage. McGill straight through to this quarter final. It'll be McLennan leads out McGill. Winner will go through to the semi and head into the best of 3 matchups. Second place will go through to a matchup later on to determine their final place. Lil McLennan in charge of this one from the front as McGill tries to get underneath. She does. She's found her spot. But she lets McLennan go back in front now. So McGill controlling this from the back.
Well, McGill knows, looking at the times, that she should, in theory, have the edge over Lily with top end speed and acceleration. But still, she won't take too many chances. Now, Lily realises that she's going to go from a long way out and try and draw this out as much as she can. They'll come down now to get the bell, and away they go. Lillian still leads it out, but it won't be for long. You can see the rider coming up around the outside, and there it is. There's the catch. Don't spend a lot of pennies. Quick look down, drops into the sprinter's lane, and McGill will roll through to take that one out and move in through.
So very rigid from McGill. She didn't react straight away to Lil McLennan's initial acceleration. She waited just a bike length or two, and then she knew where she could catch Lil, and out of turn 2, straight around the outside.
Well, that's what I said. She knew, waited her time, waited till she got into the straight where you don't have to expend as much energy, rolled past, quick look down, dropped into the sprinter's lane to protect that. The only other way for the rider at the back to do is to come around the outside, so just turn the gas off a little bit and roll through to the line to save a bit of energy for the next lot of rounds they come up against, where they'll be competing to ride off in their medals. No, sorry, the next one will be the semis.
So next up, this looks like it'll be Clark and Blinko. So Thomas and Clark from St. George, she'll be up against Damika Blinko from Balmoral. Commissaires happy, give them the whistle, off they go. Blinko to take second wheel, Clark will be in front. There'll be a lot of tactics spoken before they race, Billy, with their coaches to see how the other rider rides and what they can do. And again, maybe a different gear change as well. So depending on who they're up against.
Well, you can bet your sweet bippy on that, because there's only 0.02 between these two girls in their 200 times. So they're evenly matched there. This is going to come back to, as you said, that what their coaches have told them, and we always know, if at first you don't succeed, try doing what your coach told you to. So would have discussed all this about gears, positioning, whether you want to be at the front, be at the back, what to do, lead it out, go early. All these things will have been discussed before they go out on the track, and then once the coaches have explained everything like that to them, they'll do what they want.
There's so many scenarios, you can't remember all of them as they come down into the front straight. Clark will lead this one out. Blinko now trying to get on terms with Clark as they go round 1 and 2. Danica Blinko down the back straight. She's catching Clark, but has she got enough left to get around the outside? She's leaving her run very late as they come into the front straight. Oh, to be Blinko by half a valve cap, I think.
Yes, that was a very big effort. As I said, there's only, in the 200, there's only about 0.2 of a second between them. 0.2 of a second, so makes it very quick. And Clark did the right thing, knowing that the times were so close, to put the effort in there and go and put that little bit of a gap in, because the rider behind then not only has to close that gap, but coming around bends 3 and 4, you have to travel quite a bit quicker to overtake the rider in front, but it just managed to hold on and give a bit of a kick there at the last minute to go over the line and take that one out.
So Blinko had to push the whole way for that one. All right, coming up next, we're going to do our presentations for our kilo events. And then we'll come back into some more sprint matchups for our elite and junior women 19s.
Who went through on this one? 21, 26. 21, 26, and the little one at 21. Which one's that?
They're talking about Sandra and McKaig.
Still.
Yeah.
I've already made a decision, but I'll probably be wrong.
Yeah, I think the commissaires have said Story's fine, but it's Kilhurst disputing it. Because they're looking after McKaig this week.
Of course they are, yeah.
Yeah.
That's their role.
Yeah.
She didn't fall. No, she didn't fall. The right was running. But we've got a bit of a problem. I know what my decision on it was. The commentators have made a decision.
Yeah.
The QS coming up and disputing it because it's the QS one we had before.
Of course. Which one?
The bill.
Oh, not Molly.
No, not
No,
McKaig.
McKaig from New South.
Yeah.
So New South Institute of Sport, but looked after by QAS for the weekend, I think. I'll look at it. It's off, good.
As soon as I was going to mention it, I clicked it off. Otherwise we'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, they were reviewing something when I come round. They were looking at over here.
Yeah,
I don't know what. I didn't have a look at the riders. I could just see they were looking at something.
You get that to sleep in?
No, I was awake at 7:15. I wasn't happy. But anyway, that was no one's fault. It was my fault.
All right, we'll move into our presentations for our 1,000 metre time trial finals. First up, we'll have our under-19 men. And in third place, from Gold Coast Cycling Club. Third place from Balmoral Cycling Club, taking home the bronze, Toby Jones. In third place from the Gold Coast Cycling Club, taking home the silver, Luke Rickard. And taking home the win and the gold medal from the University of Queensland Cycling Club, Tom Choi. Our next presentation for our elite men for their 1,000 metre TT final. So our elite men now, 1,000 metre time trial final. In third place, taking home the bronze medal from the University of Queensland, Josh Gluhack. In second place, taking home the silver from Balmoral Cycling Club, Ryan Elliott. And in first place, taking home the gold, also from Balmoral Cycling Club, Byron Davies.
Where?
After these sprints.
Oh. After 54, there's a 20-minute break.
Well, okay, well, this has got after event 49. Yeah, it's a 20-minute break now. Go back to 50 yet?
We've done event 50.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
We're up to 51.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, so you didn't have your 30-minute break then?
I didn't see it in the program.
That's in mine.
Oh, okay.
So when did you say, when was your break? After 54?
Yeah.
I don't have it up break after 54, so maybe they've moved it from 54 to here.
And this one would be current. Well, that one should be current too. Just check.
Hey, Coms, can we just confirm, is this a break now?
Got 2 rounds of sprints before we go to a break.
Oh.
Perfect, thank you.
Well, there's Sandra back with the bike. Yeah, we can do it like that. 51.
2 rounds of sprints. Yep.
3 was 4 rounds.
Oh, that's why, 'cause I've got the first 2 Saturday, I've got the wrong schedule.
You've got the junior.
Oh, I just saw that sitting there. I thought that was it. So I forgot that the other one was on the table at home. And I meant to grab it. Then I saw that one here this morning. And I thought, I'll put that over
Sorry,
there for you.
guys. It's up the garden park.
See?
This is why there is a break coming over, but what are you guys
Yeah.
smoking up here?
What's Billy passing around up there?
They said, we don't know what it is, but will you share? It's like taking lollies to the workplace. The rule on taking lollies to the workplace is you have to share them.
All right, coming up next, we're going to have our semi-finals for our elite and junior women 19. So we head into the best of 3 series. We'll have the fastest versus 4th and the second versus 3rd. So this will determine the winner will go through to the gold final, and the second place getters in both of these will go through to the bronze final after their best of 3.
Mm-hmm. Did you bring any lollies?
No.
No, that's right. I'm only kidding you. I just had a piece of fruitcake.
That's okay.
So,
Oh, we might need to do that many bloody bags.
I was right.
I've got a little Mars bar, I've got 2 little Mars bars.
Who's 19?
Huh?
Who's 19?
19 is Danica Blinko.
Yep. So
That's-
first
that's-
up in our semi-finals,
No, is it? Okay.
it looks like this will be Sandra Stoy up against Danica Blinko.
Did you want these?
No, I don't want them. No, I don't want them.
So how do they work that out? 25. Who they got her against?
Stoy and Blinko. And then it'll be McGill and Watts, I guess. All right, as they come up to the starters line. So best of 3 now. So you need to win 2 to get through to the final. So winner of the best of 3 will go to the gold final. Loser will go through to the bronze final.
Let's see if it's 1v4. It should be Stoy and McCaig. Unless McCaig's out after that fall.
Well, she was in the wrong, so that's why Stoy's here.
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah.
Stoy up against Blinko. Blinko taking the lead. Very slow as they come around now. Not allowed to do any track standing before the pursuit line on the first half a lap. Commissaire's keeping a very good eye on that. You need to move at least walking pace to go around on that first half. Now Stoy up at the stayers line. Blinko still down in the sprinters lane. Now Stoy moves up. Blinko forcing her into the lead as they come up against the fence. Back down to the stayers line. Now Stoy watches.
Well, Blinko will be working on the fact that she knows what the times are. She doesn't want to spend a lot of pennies here. She's quite happy to roll around and wait for Sandra to make the move. And so she could do the same tactic, I would say, is wait until coming out of turn 2 into the back straight and then having a bit of a kick then.
So we know that worked for Stoy last time, but Blinko gets the advantage. She's straight into the sprinters lane, and now she goes with it. She outsprints Stoy around 1 and 2, but Stoy's coming back. She's making a big move down the back straight into 3 and 4. It's Blinko just over the top of Stoy. Stoy pushes her a whole way to the line, but it'll be Blinko goes 1 up in their best of 3 match.
Yeah, you can see Blinko, once she got that bit of a hit, as she turned around out of turn 4, you can see she just had a quick look over the shoulder, just put enough effort into those pedals to maintain the gap that she had and to roll through to take that round 1.
So good riding there. Blinko able to get advantage over Stoy. Got into that sprinters lane, that's where Stoy wanted to be, but Blinko was there. Next up it'll be McGill and Watts. Training partners, both from QAS, so they'll know each other very well and know what their tactics are. What can they do here against each other?
So this should be a little bit tighter between these two riders.
Sophie Watts to lead this one out over the top of McGill. And Billy, we just saw McGill wipe her tyres as she was rolling up to the track, put her hand down, just clean the tyres off.
That's in case it's picked up any dust. Because one of the things with these boards, on these boards, they're very, very slippery, and a little bit of dust will make a lot of difference. I remember when they first built the disc down in Melbourne, they had a bit of a problem with some of the concrete steps there. A couple of them were more than 300 millimetres high, so they had to get grinders in to grind them down to the legal height, and it put a lot of dust, and it's like talc that gets into the air. And any time a breeze comes through or a large pylon was knocked, the dust would come down onto the track, and the riders would, or down onto the infield, and the riders would pick it up on their tyres, and it makes it very, very slippery. And as you can see, we do have open louvers here, and even though you can't see any airborne dust, there will be dust coming in here, settling on the infield, and the riders will get it on their tyres. And once again, because they're not a tread on a lot of these things, very fine tread, the dust can be actually dangerous.
So take no chances. If you can rub some off, perfect. Especially on that front wheel. We know that's a slippery one.
Yes, well, when the big problem here is in a sprint, you're changing directions, and if you changed the front wheel, you come down the bank and go to swing up again suddenly, and you got something there, you're gone.
As Watts goes through, she's in the front, out of turn 1 and 2. She's got a good advantage over McGill. McGill having to work really hard as they come down the back straight. It's still Watts. McGill's going to have to make a big comeback down the front straight. She won't be able to. It'll be Watts to go through.
Yes, you could see as they come around into that back straight, the rider back there was just looking, thinking, nah, McGill knew that she was not going to get over the top of her. So she just turned off a little bit, and now she'll go back to the drawing board and the coaches and say, well, that didn't work. What are we going to try this time? And that's where your coaches should be watching these events as well, and I'm sure that they're all down there scrutinising what's happening. They'll go back and have a talk to the riders and say, okay, well, that didn't work, let's try this.
Coming up next, we're going to have our sprint off for 5, 6, 7 and 8 on our junior women 19 and elite. So first up, it'll be 7 and 8th position that we'll be looking for, fighting for.
No.
And that might have been Liang up against McCaig. So after McCaig had the fall in her matchup with Stoy, McCaig not taking to the start line. So that'll give Ella Liang 7th position and McCaig into 8th. So we'll just go straight through to our 5 versus 6 matchup. And that'll be Lil McLennan up against Thomas and Clark.
Once again, it'll be interesting to watch to see what sort of tactics these young ladies use. Because we've seen a lot of these riders over the period of time ride off against each other. But as Thomas and Clark is visiting from New South Wales, the other riders haven't had much of an opportunity to race against her, so it would have been very wise to watch the way she rides when she was out in the other events. A lot of these other girls have all come through as junior riders together, so they know each other almost as well as themselves.
Definitely, and as we spoke about on Friday, these guys train all year, so even though this is for 5th and 6th place, it still matters. You train to race, you train to ride, you still want to get the best spot you can get.
Well, that's right too, and plus once again, it's another race, it's another bit of experience, some more knowledge to gain, and some more data to use for your own progression.
So McLennan leads this one off. Clark will go in the second wheel.
Yeah, so you've seen, to make sure that she was on second wheel, you've seen the holder just delay a little second before letting the rider go. There's no rule that says you have to push them off straight away, or actually you're not supposed to push at all. Although I have seen it happen, and I had it happen to me. Where the holder of the other one, I'd just come off the track from doing a team sprint with the elites, and the holder of the other bloke gave him a handicap push to try and beat me in the sprint. But the commissaires didn't pull him up, unfortunately, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
That happened. They changed bars on me while I was sitting on the track, and then I had to go out and race the sprints because I rode in the elite team sprint.
Oh. All right, as we roll around, it's McLennan still in front of Clark. Lil starting to move around the track a little bit with a lap and a half to go. So this is for 5th and 6th position for this elite women's sprint. As they come around the top, both riders still up right against the fence. Lil McLennan looking around. Oh, sorry, two laps to go as they go across the line.
Well, Clark didn't want to wait and play the game any longer. She decided she's going to go out at 2 to go. Lil quite happy just to sit on the wheel at the moment. See what happens when they come in now to get the bell. They come out of the turn, come in, receive the bell for the start of their final lap. Just watching over, Clark just watching over the shoulder. Now she's going to kick again, staying in that lane. McClellan's trying to come around the outside. She can't gain any ground on there, so this will come through, and Tennyson Clark will take that one out, and McClellan will follow her through.
She changed the clock as they went across the line, the lap counter. So good win there from Clark over the top of McLennan.
But the rule is you ride the bell.
Yeah.
Standard rule.
She only did two.
I think Betty may have realised herself. Okay, now we'll go back, I think, to our semi-final ride-offs.
We will, so that'll be first up. We'll have Stoy and Blinko.
Blinko taking out the first one, so that's one up for her.
So very quick transition between the races. They were only out on the boards 2 or 3 minutes ago. They've got to get off the track, wind down, get back to the seat, be ready to race again, Billy.
Yes, well, it doesn't seem like a long time, but if you've got a minimum, I've always worked on the theory, if you've got a minimum of around about 8 minutes, should be good enough for a recovery period. But we'll wait and see what happens here. There's no urgency among anyone to get riders up onto the track at the moment. Well, Sandra Stoy standing down there, sitting at the... she's sitting now. So maybe waiting for an opponent. She doesn't care who it is. She just wants to ride.
While we're waiting, we'll give a plug to Zero Fox Sports. They've been our photographer here over the weekend, and they were here at the Junior State Championships last weekend again as well. So if you check out their Facebook and Instagram, Zero Fox Sports, you'll see some great photos over the last couple of events. So once these semi-finals are complete, we'll go into a short break, and then we'll come back with some team sprint qualifying. We'll finish off our junior women and elite women's sprints, and then we'll have a points race and a scratch race, and our team sprint finals to finish out the day and the event.
So still plenty of racing yet to come. There'll be some exciting racing there once we get into those scratch races.
All right, here we go. We've got our riders coming out on the track. Stoy and Blinko. Blinko with the advantage over Stoy in their first semi-final matchup. So the winner of this best of three, they'll go through to the gold final ride-off. The loser will go through to the bronze medal ride-off.
And Sandra Stoy coming up to the line now. Holder is Jared O'Connell. Sandra is part of the Jared's little sprint squad that they have training here on Tuesday night. So here we go for ride-off now.
So Stoy, she'll be looking to win this one. She wants to take it to a third matchup if she can. Blinko, she'll want to get it done and dusted and finished.
Your Blinko would like to do this in two. She doesn't want to have to go to three because that's more pennies spent, and the little Bicky tin's only got so many pennies in it.
If they do have to go to the third matchup, it is straight after the next race. So they will get off the track, go back to the seats, and then have to go racing straight away again. So Blinko definitely not wanting to do that, but Stoy, she'll have every motivation to make that happen. She wants to get through to the gold final.
Well, nothing to lose, everything to gain. Riding off for a medal, state championships. Yep, I'd like to do that, she says.
Right, as they come through, lap count is on 1, but I think they've still got 2 to go. As they come through, they will get the bell this time around. There it is, there's the bell. Stoy starts it off early, she winds up, she goes up the track, goes back into the sprinter's lane. Now the sprint starts as they go down the back straight. Stoy watches Blinko go past, nothing she can do about it. Blinko around 3 and 4. Blinko will go through to our gold medal final. Sandra Stoy, she'll go for the ride off for bronze, so great riding from Stoy.
Yes, she's done quite well throughout these championship events. Sandra coming and competing at this level with these riders. And once again, Blinko did the same thing, followed the round turns 1 and 2 and waited to get to the transition before progressing forward, using less energy. Once dropping in front, just rolled around through, just checked every now and then to make sure nothing was going to happen, and just rolled over to take that one out.
So good ride from Danica Blinko. Up next, it'll be Sophie Watts and Molly McGill. Watts with the advantage in this matchup. The two QAS riders, Watts will want to go straight through the gold if she can win this one. McGill want to force it into a third and final.
Not too sure what's going on, but there's no riders ready to race, and the riders are supposed to be.
We can see McGill putting her helmet on down there now.
They should be ready now.
So, last word from QAS coaches. Commissaire's waiting.
You know you can get fined for that, holding up the show.
Good, should do.
I started a race once without a kid in it, and his father had to go with me, and he went to change the chief, and the chief said, "Oh," I said, "No, Billy did the right thing." He said he's clever, of course. So his call, he called you to the track. He said, "But as a matter of fact, he said, I'm going to find you for holding the racing up." Find his son.
It's rider's responsibility.
Next time I called under 19 riders, he was the second rider of the game. He said nothing, panic on his blowers, and I'm calling for the riders to come, and his father saying, "No, stay there." And then when the other riders come through, I just went and closed the gate. He's still up there.
All right, Watts and McGill, they're out getting on their bikes. Big shout out to Scotty Slade. He's got some pastries here for all the commissaires and volunteers. Thank you very much, Scotty. We appreciate it. All right, McGill and Watts. Watts with the advantage. Watts winning the first matchup.
Well, taking that first one always gives you a little bit of satisfaction, because now you got two more bites at the cherry. Not that you want to take two if you can help it, but getting that first one out of the way and having that one there does give you a slight advantage over the opponent, because they're thinking about, what do I have to do? How can I change that and reverse the outcome this time?
Round they go. So Watts will take second wheel this time. McGill from the front. We saw in their first matchup, Watts just powered away. She got a gap of about 2.5 bike lengths, and McGill wasn't able to close that down until the last minute. So Watts going over the line first. What
yeah, well, they're pretty.
Do to reverse that now.
They're pretty evenly matched, and that's what makes it harder. And that's why I always say, if you can get that 2 bike lengths head start, that makes a lot of difference. One of the things they used to do years ago, and some of the riders still do it now, is you practice seated accelerations and learn how to accelerate while you're seated, so that you don't preempt the rider at the back as they see you coming out of the saddle. They'll come out of the saddle with you. But if you can do the seated accelerations, by the time you've pull 2 bike legs, they've gone, oh, they're gone, and then they've got to close that gap and then try and accelerate around you.
Paul Jackson, Jacko from UQ, a big advocate of the seated accelerations. You'll see him practicing those even in the main street. Jared O'Connell the same. He'll do it outside his home up the hill. As they go round now, McGill trying to lead out Watts. Watts right on top of her as they come round 1 and 2. Watts trying to get back on terms with McGill. She does down the back straight. Round she goes into 3 and 4. They're hip to hip as they come round 3 and 4. Watts has got the advantage from the top as she'll take the win. So Watts will go through to our gold final. McGill will go into the bronze final against Danica Blinko.
Sandra Stoy.
Sandra Stoy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Blinko into the gold final.
Blinko's the gold.
Yeah.
You just made a lot of people out there very unhappy.
Sorry, Danica. You were through the gold. You'll go through with Sophie Watts through the bronze medal final. That'll be McGill and Stoy.
But to be honest, do you think any of them pay much attention to what we say?
Definitely not.
They'll know. They'll know in their own mind where they're at.
All right, so we're going to have a short 20-minute break, and we'll be back to racing in 20 minutes.
Can you just explain to me before you go what the difference is between a short 20-minute break and a long 20-minute break?
Short is when you're trying to eat your lunch, have a drink, get back here, go to the toilet, and get back into commentary. That's a short break because it goes so quick.
Understood completely. Okay, we'll be back soon. Racing will resume at 12:23. That's 19 minutes.
See, short break.
I always like it when you see a car company says, "Oh, this This car's got a big 2-litre engine. What's the difference between a big 2-litre engine and
A little 2-litre engine. Yeah.
A bit like when they're reading the Blake's Hat and the weather. You watch one channel and says, "Oh, it's going to be partly cloudy tomorrow," and you go pick that up, and it'll be a partly sunny day. Those things make me wonder in life. I ponder all sorts of things in life.
So I let that stuff just go. I'm like, got too much other space, stuff taking up space.
Well, see, I have this problem with fish fingers. People say they're going to have fish fingers, and I think fish don't even have hands. Yeah, I'm a little bit different. That's one word anyhow.
Yeah, who would have thought?
You know, when they first designed this building, one of the first designs for it was to have the bus stop out here somewhere, but a full-time operating coffee shop as part of the contract.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the bus stop and car parking over there, so the people who, the idea was the people who'd be getting on or off the bus stopping to grab a coffee before they would work or even when they come home from work.
It's a great idea.
That was one of the plans. Have you ever been to the disc?
Yeah, I took Flynn down there 2 weeks ago for AJTS.
I don't know whether it's still the same, but their cafeteria there, it's got 2 entrances. One's off the, you can enter off the road, and the other one you can enter off the velodrome.
Yeah. Yep.
But off the road, if you go across, the only thing in the area is the subways, or that used to be. And a lot of people come in off the other side and come in and get their lunches and everything there. So they're, even in the days when there's nothing on at the velodrome, it's still open to the public. Because then, but the other thing is you've got your soccer club and the bowls.
Yep. It was locked up tight when we were down there.
Was it?
Yeah, there was nothing. Had to get all your food before you got there for the day, and
Probably the same thing as here. The people, they're not making $1 million, they're not going to do it. That's why there's no one here, because they won't come because they can't make money. But I said to Stadiums Queensland when I spoke about it, I said, no, I said, did they sign a service contract to provide a service? And I said, yes. And I said, where is it? Where's the service supposed to provide?
where's the service?
You do, and when you go make any business decision, you look at your highs and lows, and you've got to see what's going to happen and what you're supposed to provide, and know that. So when they first started on here, and this is the silly thing that they done, some dipstick up here made this agreement with them, say, oh yeah, but for the first so many years, we'll guarantee you an X income. So even if they turned up here and did nothing, just sat there, did something, they still got whatever money it was. But as I said now, I said, well, you've got a situation now where you turn up, you don't know whether they're going to be here or not, so you bring your own food and coffee along, and they're here, but you've already bought yours along.
Self-fulfilling. You're just like, I'm not bringing it. I'm going to bring food because I don't know if that's going to be open or not.
But oh well, who are we? Oh, still some of those gingerbread things there too.
Thanks, mate. Imagine you rocked up on a Tuesday and you said, Sleeman's actually only got 5 riders come in tonight. Not going to make enough money, so I'm going to pay you $50 instead of the full fee.
That wouldn't go down.
No.
But I have had situations where, there were quite a few nights, not quite a few, there are actually quite a reasonable amount of ones, where I don't cover costs. But I still run it. You know, I remember one night on the old.
But that's that highs and lows thing you talk about. But then there's other nights where it's, you know,
I remember one night on the other velodrome that come up bad and cloudy and everything, and they worked up. There's about 7 or 8 riders showed up. I said I had to go up and I was there, and then back then I think I was only charging $10 back on the outdoor velodrome. Well, it might have been a long time ago. And one of the blokes said, well, I came here to train. He said, no, I've driven over here to train. He said, no, I don't expect you to go home. I said, yeah, okay, so we run the session. He said, then I don't expect that you should have to pay for me to train. He said, so instead of the standard fee, he said, I'm going to throw in $20 a night. And all the other blokes said, yeah, we'll do the same. We want to train.
that's
You've
nice,
gone to the
isn't
effort to be here.
Mm.
This is a long time ago. I was unemployed then. I was in one of those situations where I was waiting over 50 and out of a job.
it? Yeah.
I had no hope. They wouldn't give white men over 50 a job,
Mm.
no matter what you could do.
No.
That was in that period of time.
That was like early 2000 sort of thing, wasn't it? Like
Oh yeah.
around that time?
Yeah. But anyhow, yeah, all these blokes just said, yep, no, we're quite happy. We'll cover the costs. We want to be here. We want to train. You provide the service for us. We need it. Okay.
That's good.
Actually, even when I was only out there, one of the blokes went, he said, well, why haven't you put the fees up? I said, oh, you know, this, that. He said, you can't afford to do this. He said, we're using it.
Go on, boys.
Thanks for the pastry, Scotty.
Guys, get to the
Yeah,
mess.
some of it committed suicide.
Did any of it get in your mouth?
Yeah. But
I tried to get in Billy's mouth so quick it fell out.
But you know, one of the blokes said to me, he said, put your prices up. He said, it's worth that to us. Because I did it for years on a Sunday afternoon for nothing at all, just cover costs.
Yeah, right.
I just counted how many people I had and they all paid me $4 each. That's what
Yep.
I used to pay for the use of the velodrome.
Yeah.
And
Hello.
because I started training myself on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And someone else said, oh, I can pick you. It took about 3 months.
Yep.
I stopped bringing my own bike.
Oh,
And I had 30 riders out there on the outdoor velodrome.
too busy.
I had one bloke turn up there once. He said, you know, Billy, he said, I know you train on Sunday afternoons. He said, I'm not really interested in being part of your session. He said, but I found the opportunity to get on the track. You mind if I come along and do some stuff while you're here? He goes,
Yeah.
I said, yeah. And I say he was there doing stuff. Next Sunday I'm there. Next minute he comes in and signs up. Because I brought all the names. I said, got him. And he's there. And I said, oh, what are you going to do? He said, oh, I'm going to your crew. He said, what? He said, I've been racing the track for 8 years. He said, I'm listening to you talk to these kids. And he said, you're telling me stuff I've never even heard of. He said, I'm sticking with you.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I did that. I'd sometimes have 30 kids over there. Well, not just kids, adults and that as well.
Yeah.
On a Sunday afternoon. Like I said, it started out as my training session. I ended up stopped bringing a bike. But I don't mind. I've coached and taught sports all my life. Even when I was still a teenager, I was coaching gymnastics and basketball.
Yeah.
And I haven't played like Gunner Winnie. I used to coach boxing.
Yeah, right. It's a shame they let the lights go at the outside here. So I used to bring the boys in, and I'd have a few of the juniors from Hamilton and a few of the Gold Coast kids come along as well. And then as soon as the lights went, couldn't do it anymore because you can't get here before the sun goes down.
Yeah. I'll be back in a minute. What time we starting? 23 minutes past.
Yep. Something like that.
That music should be good enough for them, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to do a search for anything, have a go at it. You know how to use a paddle back, don't you?
I'm happy with whatever you put on there, Billy.
I've got 45,000 songs on there, so you've got to do it. I don't know if I've got to put any more on or not. It's starting to get pretty bloody heavy. You'll be right, stick with me, kid. I'll lead you up the garden path.
I'm already halfway up there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No officials amongst them. Okay, we'll get the last little session underway for these 2024 State Track Championships.
This is our elite and junior women 19s sprint final. So this is our gold final ride-off and our bronze medal ride-off. So we'll start up with our bronze final, and that'll be Sandra Stoy. She'll be up against Molly McGill.
Where are we? Yeah.
So best of three. The rider to win two will take home the bronze medal. Second place,
We'll take home memories.
good memories.
They will be good memories. Remember, getting this far through is an advantage, is an achievement on its own. To know that you fought this far through the program to make it into the top four of the state.
Not a bad effort. While we're here, Billy, just a big thanks to the commissaires for the effort they put in and help us go racing, and to all the volunteers running the live stream. We appreciate everything you do.
Look, you've got your volunteers running your live stream, your volunteers out there helping, some of the commissaires, all these people, they all give up their time to come along because they have a passion for the sport. And that's why they're here, and they want to see it go ahead. And it's great to see them all out here helping, and they're giving up their time.
They couldn't be racing without them. So we're off for the first matchup in our bronze medal final. It'll be Stoy and McGill. Stoy to lead this one out. She'll have to be very tactical to get over the top of McGill. We saw Sandra willing to move around the track.
I'm sure Jared would have been giving Sandra lots of information and advice during that 20-minute break to try and help her achieve a win here. So she's got two opportunities to get one strike.
Around they come. So one lap down, two to go. It's still Stoy in front. Bit of a higher pace this time around. Sandra looking to wind it up a bit earlier than before. McGill, she would have watched Sandra's races earlier. She'll know what to expect here. She won't want to get caught out. Sandra starting to wind it up. Moving McGill up. Covers off the sprinter's lane. Now McGill just off her back wheel. Stoy going to open it up early. Can she hold it? Now they go up the top of the track as they come around 1 and 2. Sandra stays up there at the stayers line. Good tactic. She's used it before. Down the back straight. She can't hold off McGill though as she goes around easily over the top. She'll come through. McGill will get win number 1. So McGill will be happy to have that one in the bag. Sandra, do or die next time around. She'll need to beat McGill or she'll walk out with 4th place. Next up, we're going to have Sophie Watts and Danica Blinko. Jam-packed QAS field here, Billy, in the finals for this elite women's sprint.
Yeah, well, Sandra Stoy's black kit seems to be the odd one out. She must feel like she didn't get the email.
Maybe we can call Sandra the disruptor.
I'll be careful what you call her. She's pretty big close up, you know.
Yeah, I'm a bit scared of Sandra actually. So anyway, so
well, this is going to be an interesting matchup here between these two riders. All comes down to tactics now. Can't rely just on basic speed anymore.
And Blinko and Watts will know each other very well. They train together all the time. They'll know. They'll have shared some of the same tactics of what works, what doesn't.
Yeah, and they've raced each other plenty of times before. I mean, you're looking at 11.12 and 11.2. That's not a lot of difference at this level. At any level, really. So they'll come out. They know all that. That's irrelevant now. Now we've got to play the sprint game. This is one-on-one match racing.
Same kit, same bikes, same coaches.
The only difference, of course, is Watts has that white strip down a helmet.
Round they come. So it'll be Blinko leading this one out. Watts into second wheel. Blinko has not looked forward yet. She's just looked over her right shoulder, trying to see what Watts is doing. She doesn't want to get caught out by anything. So they're so close in their timing.
Well,
one of them goes early, you're going to have to fight for the whole way to catch up.
Well, we saw that earlier where the rider went and put a two bike length gap in, and then the rider chased for nearly a lap before they could close that 2 lengths down. And then you've got to get around the rider in front of you. And as I said, if you're doing it in the bends, that's even harder. So what the riders will do, if they think they have the advantage, they'll wait till they get coming out of the bend into the transition area and try to do their overtaking on the straights.
And I think that was Watts earlier. She got
Yes.
2.5 bike lengths and they just couldn't close it down. So huge advantage. Lots of energy wasted from the second rider and just wasn't able to get around. So Watts knows how to use it. Will she do it against Blinko as well? Blinko forcing Watts right up against the fence now. As they come around 3 and 4, they'll get the bell this time around.
Still staying up nice and high. Pace just starting to pick up now.
And Watts goes straight over the top of Blinko into 1 and 2. She automatically gets a bike length. Blinko's going to have to really charge down the back straight. No change in the gap as they come around 3 and 4. Blinko sits up. Watts will go through. So see, Blinko sat up at about the 100 metre mark.
Well, yeah, she realised she couldn't close that gap, so why spend your pennies? You haven't got a lot of pennies out there to play with at the moment, so the good decision to sit up there like that and sort of reassess the situation next time out and maybe try a slightly different tactic, like starting 5 minutes early.
So Danica will be out there now, even rolling around in this, as she winds down the gear, she'll be going, what could I have done different? What can I do next time? She'll have learned from that race, and then when she goes off second wheel next time, she'll try something completely different to try and catch Sophie Watts off guard.
Yes, there would be a lot of self-analysis going on there at the moment, and plus a lot of watching from their coaches. You've got the QAS coaches out there who'll be watching what's happening out there, and then draw the riders inside. Even though they're both QAS, they still have to give them individual information to suit their best, to give them the greatest advantage or ability to go out there and use some knowledge and experience to take out a win.
All right, as we give the sprinters a little bit of a break, we're going to go into our team sprint qualifying. This is our elite and junior men's 19. We've got some big names here coming up as well, Billy.
Oh, yeah, we're going to see some things happen here. And see one of the uni clubs out here, mainly Masters riders. But that's all right. We'll see some good times put in by these. And being Masters riders, of course, doesn't mean they're all old and slow. But what it does mean is some of them have done this before, so they're pretty good at doing this. Paul Jackson out there, you see him out there rolling around before. I knew that this was what he'd be for. It's one of his favourite events.
Now, I see a bunch of Bundaberg riders out there. They're not on our list, so I'm going to have a little bit of a guess there. I can see Archie Pratt. 32 would be Joey Black, I think, or 6 is Joey Black. So 31, Archie Pratt, he's out there. 32, Ben Rudd, and they'll be joined by Joey Black. So Black, Rudd, Pratt. This will be the time that everyone else will be trying to get up against.
Now number 6 is Black.
So Black in number 6, Ben Rudd, the number 32, Archie Pratt, number 31.
So that's your 3 riders out there representing the Bundaberg Cycling Club.
And these 3 young men have had a good outing so far. Black trying to get on top of the gear as they get around. This will be the time that they all want to beat. It'll be Black, Rudd, Pratt.
I would endeavour to say that Black has a smaller gear on there than what he did for trying to ride his kilo. He got off the mark much better that time.
Only wants to do 1 lap, so definitely off much better as Rudd takes over now. He's got Archie Pratt hot on his heels as they come around 1 and 2. Archie screaming at Rudd, you got to go faster, let's go. Round 3 and 4, it's still Rudd in the front. Archie will take over now as they come down the front straight. It's Archie Pratt now goes into the lead. Around 1 and 2, down the back straight. Geez, we've seen Archie go quick over the weekend. What's he got left in the tank? Around 3 and 4. This is qualifying for the finals. Across the line. We don't have a time there. We'll wait for the officials.
52.180.
a 52.185 for our crew from Bundaberg. So that's the benchmark, 52.185. That'll be what everyone else chases from here on in.
Well, it'd be very nice for the Bundy Club to know that they are actually at the moment the current gold medal holder for the team sprint for the elite and junior under 19 men. Remains to be seen how long they hold that medal for, but they can at least say they have been the holder of the gold medal at one stage.
All right, next up on the back straight, the UQ team of Clark, Macris and Jackson. It looks like Clark will go third wheel. Jackson, Jacko, he'll be taking off. No, it's Peter Macris.
Macris is starting, Jacko is second, and Adam Clark, probably more of the enduro out of the trio over there. Peter Macris, an endurance event, is 3 laps of this velodrome. Jacko's not much better. And so I'll have to put Clarkie right up the top because he goes out and plays on the road as well.
Right, then on the front straight, we're going to have in the starters box Henry Goodwill. Next to him, Harry Preston. And then in third wheel, that'll be Kyle Gibbs, sorry. All the boys from Townsville.
It's good that they've got enough riders here to actually put in a team, both Bundy and the Townsville clubs. It's great to see.
So time to beat, 52.185.
Looks like we might have the clock running this time. A little glitch there earlier on. No.
Wrong names on the board, but off we go. Good start from UQ on the back straight. Henry Goodwill off to a good start here on the front straight as well.
UQ hit straight through to the lead on that one, which is not surprising with Macris getting that team off the mark. Now when Jacko comes to the front, you will see him accelerate. There they go. They're pretty much even Steven on that one, so we'll see how they go coming around now. Jacko's coming in to take the lead in that one over there.
Pretty much even Stevens. They cross the front wheels, same there between Preston and Jackson. Preston might have the lead now for Townsville. Now it's down to Clark.
Townsville did have the little lead, but let's see what Clark can do over this final lap.
It's still Townsville with the advantage, about half a bike length as they come through. Only quarter of a lap to go. It'll be Townsville across the line first with a 51.279. That'll set them the fastest time. And the UQ riders, they'll come through with a 51.764. So the names on the scoreboard's not quite matching up with the names that we've got, but we do have those riders coming up now.
But the club names up there, the team names are correct, so we can go with that. And as far as we're aware, the times are correct.
So new time to beat, 51.279 from Townsville. And we've got some big riders that'll be up to chase that, Billy.
Well, I'd say these next two teams that are coming up now, when you have a look at the riders there, and we've seen them all race earlier, you've got Davies, Elliott, bit of a speller there, Mitchell Louis. Then in the other team, you've got riders like Bucknell, Fletcher, Gluhack, all strong riders, and this is the type of events they like to ride. Just straight out power. Nothing more than adrenaline and power in an event like this.
So on the front straight, we'll have Mitch Louis. Then we'll have Ryan Elliott. Then we'll have Byron Davies. On the back straight, just trying to have a look. I can see the tattoo, so that'll be Josh Gluhack. We'll start. Just trying to see the helmets over there. I think it might be Bryson in second wheel. And maybe Bucknell in third. I'll have to confirm that as they roll around. Definitely Josh Gluhack in first wheel. Definitely Mitch Louis in first wheel.
Well, in this event, of course, they only have to wear the one number, and even if they did have two and they had one on the hip over the other side, it wouldn't do me any good. I can see 6 riders on the line over there.
3 of those are holders.
I can see 6. I've got split vision.
All right, off we go. We've only got 5 seconds. Good start from Louis. Again, a bit of trouble with that front wheel though, lifting it up and it went a bit sideways. Round we come. Look at the start from Gluhack from that UQ team. Really good. He's got about a bike length over Louis as they fight to catch up now.
But that wasn't a really good start because the other riders should be calling them back. Both of those first riders rode away from their team members, so that's always a little bit of a worry because that person then's riding on their own.
Elliott has made up a lot of ground now as they come through. 2 laps down. Davies inherits the lead as he goes through.
Slightly in the lead.
Finished his lap. Byron Davies, they've got a commanding lead now. It's about 15 metres. So they come across the right. Byron Davies with a 45.3 and the UQ team with a 47.3. So those two will race off for the gold medal final later on. And it'll be the team of UQ and Townsville will ride off for the bronze medal.
Yes, some of these teams here, especially when you just look at the teams of UQ and Townsville, 51.2, 51.7. That can still go either way. Event like this, one team could improve, the other one could be tired. So it's still could go either way for that one.
I can see there's going to be one more team here, Billy, that's not on the program. And this will be a mix of riders from Bundy and, is that Tipple out there?
Oh, of course it's Tipple. He's been in everything else. If there was a raffle running today, I'm sure he'd have tickets in it.
And just to back up, we've got Archie Pratt back out there and Ben Rudd. As if they haven't done enough, they're going to go out for another team sprint.
Well, why not? Why not?
This is the same as Ella Liang yesterday. Do a team sprint, ride straight back into the starter's gate and do another one.
Yeah. Great opportunity to learn, isn't it?
So this is good from Rudd and Archie Pratt, giving Tipple a chance to get out there and do it as well.
Plus, it's also good for the riders who obviously don't get much of an opportunity to do this kind of event. Even just using not even using the starting gate, they're using holders. I know there is a start gate there. Sorry, I couldn't see it there for a minute. But a lot of these riders don't get an opportunity to use starting gates the same as these. So this is a great chance here now and more experience, especially for riders like Tipple, not getting the great opportunity to do these events. Out on the track there now. Get the call of 10 to go.
Good start from Tipple as he gets out of the gate right on the bell. So it'll be Tipple, followed by Rudd, followed by Pratt. As they come around, good start from Tipple. Rudd now starting to wind that back in. Good catch around about 3 or 4 as they come into the main straight. Tipple will peel off. Now it's Rudd. They're still fighting for a time. They can still get into the finals from here.
Well, unfortunately, the clock isn't running, so we can't really tell you what the times are. But I'm sure we will find them out in due course.
Rudd coming around. Archie Pratt right on his wheel. Archie will take over now. Archie Pratt down the main straight into 1 and 2. He must be getting tired. Pratt down the back straight. Really starting to push now. Can he get into the finals? As they go round 3 and 4, it's Archie Pratt into the main straight. We'll wait to see a time. So time to get into the finals. They have to beat us 51.764. We'll just wait on confirmation from the commissaires for a time on that one. Come on, Michael, tell us what the time is.
That last team was 52.8. 52.859. 52.859.
So word from the commissaires, a
Copy
52.859. So just missing out on getting through to the finals right off. So confirmation again. It'll be the team of Bucknell, Fletcher and Gluhack will go up against Davies, Elliott and Louis for the gold. And for our bronze medal ride-off, we'll have Goodwill, Gibbs and Preston up against Clark, Macris and Jackson. Coming up now, though, our second matchup in our best of three for our elite and junior women 19 sprints. McGill with the advantage over Stoy. She's one up. McGill will want to do this. If she can win now, she'll take home the bronze. Stoy, this is all or nothing. She will want to try and force this to a third ride-off.
Well, Stoy would have been sitting down there with Jared, and I'm sure he would have been offering lots of advice. But you still need the ability to perform the function. Sandra Stoy riding quite well. But we know, or as we have been watching, we've seen how strong McGill is. McGill quite happy just to roll around there at the required walking pace, keeping an eye over the shoulder. Doesn't want to give anything away. Very wary. Stoy is a veteran rider at these kind of things.
Very wily, Stoy. She's got a heap of tricks in her tactics bag, so she'll throw everything at this one to try and get through to a third round matchup.
Yeah, well, we have seen her use several different tactics depending on the opponent. Now she's coming down. She's come down onto the rider. McGill still watching over the shoulder. Stoy back up to the top of the track. Get into the back straight. Might try the old 1-2-3 manoeuvre.
McGill not taking her eyes off Stoy as they roll around. McGill on the stayers line. Stoy right up on the fence. Is she going to try and go long range from here? She's winding it up. Now she's out of the saddle. She's not at full steam yet as McGill matches her pace into 1 and 2. McGill gives it a bit of a kick. She gets 5 metres. Now Stoy coming back at her down the back straight. McGill looks around. She has to kick again. Stoy right up on her back wheel now. But is it too late? It is. McGill will take the win. She had enough kick there to hold off Stoy, so McGill will go home with a bronze medal.
Well, they weren't bad tactics by Stoy. She laid off a little bit coming into out of turn 2, give herself a bit of an area there, and then took a run at the rear wheel of McGill going in through that transition area to try and get round her, but unfortunately McGill just had that little bit too much pace. So McGill will there take home a bronze medal.
So good competition for Sandra Stoy.
Oh, it certainly is. Certainly is.
When you're coming up in a bronze medal final and it's all QAS riders, a stacked field, and you are the odd lady out, she can hold her head high as she walks home tonight.
Oh, she should be very happy with the performance here. But well, not just over today, but over the whole event, all 3 days.
And knowing Sandra, she'll be back at training this week, ready to go again.
She'll be there Tuesday night because I'll have lollies there.
Well, I'm definitely bringing Flynn on Tuesday night then.
Yeah, I thought you might.
All right, now we've got Sophie Watts and Danica Blinko.
So Watts has the advantage here so far, taking out the first round. So Blinko would have been sitting down there discussing things.
Same situation as Stoy. For Blinko, it's do or die. Got to throw everything she can at this to take it to a tiebreaker. Watts, she'll just want to get this one done, dusted, put the gold medal in her back pocket and be a very happy camper.
Well, I'm sure Julian would have been talking to Blinko about lots of different things down there during that break. And between those two heats, I mean. And just to find out give her some advice on what she could try. Rolling up near the top now.
And here we go. The tactics have started early. 2.5 laps out.
Just keep moving around. That way it keeps the rider at the front. Their head's like it's on a swivel. They've got to try and see where you are. They don't know where your next move is. You want to draw the front rider up to the middle of the track and then try that tactic.
Now it's Watts with the white stripe. It's Blinko at the back in the pure black helmet. So it's Blinko at the back. She needs to do everything she can. That's why she's disrupting Sophie Watts, trying to keep her guessing where she's going. Sophie Watts out of the saddle. They're back down into the sprinters lane as they come down the main straight. They'll get the bell. Up high Blinko goes. tries to get into the sprinters lane, can't do it. Watts still with about a bike lane. Blinko coming back down the back straight. What can they do here? Blinko having to go the long way around. She's got a chance here coming into the main straight. As they come across the line, it'll be Sophie Watts, too strong, holds off Blinko. Sophie Watts taking home a gold. Danica Blinko, she'll take home a silver.
Well, Blinko played the game right. She knew what she had to do once the sprint started. She once again waited till they got back to that back area, closed the gap to the wheel, tried coming around the outside. She got about halfway up the length of Watts's bike, but then realised that's it, no more pennies in the tank. And she sat up, but she'll be quite happy with that. She'll take home a silver medal.
So great finish to our elite and junior women's 19 sprint event for our 2024 Queensland State Championships. Good riding from all the ladies out there for that one.
Yes, it was. It was good to see. Now we'll see what happens when we move on into our elite and junior under 19 women points race.
So points race, we'll see a few riders that we haven't seen today, but also some very familiar faces. Ella Liang, she's everywhere. Victoria Smith, absolutely everywhere. What can they put? What have they got left in the legs to get into this points race? 20 kilometres.
Well, we do have a mix of elite and junior under 19 women. And once again, if you see Eden Sealy-Cunnington out there, she'll probably attack every time she hits the front. She did it the other night, so there's no reason why she won't do it again. She did it in the scratch race. Tries hard, rides well. Courtney McGowan, the points race, this is going to be interesting to watch that. Courtney coming from wanting to be a sprinter, training for all that. Now she's given the idea she's going to be a bit of an enduro rider. Stella Kay, young rider, just started on track, started coming along on Tuesday nights to learn track skills and racing on track. As she comes from a triathlon background, so this is all new to her. They normally don't get this close to each other in triathlons.
Late entry, I can see out there that bright orange jersey, Lil McLennan jumping into the points race as well, Billy.
Yes, I just noticed that as you mentioned when you said late entry. I looked up and I said, yep, I know who that is.
Love riders wearing the same suit all day. Makes it very easy to see. Now the big one here, Armley Sanders. She's an absolute machine on the bike. She will look to wrestle points straight away and get an unassailable lead, but she'll have a lot of ladies chasing her down.
Well, don't forget Armley Sanders, also quite a good pursuiter. So no fear of her going off the front and trying to hold some laps out there in the front to gain points as well. Maybe even take a lap. Maybe you gain a lap here, it's an extra 20 points. Lose a lap, of course, you lose 20 points, but you have to gain a lap, gives you a great advantage over the rest of the field.
All right, Victoria Smith will lead them around. I'm a bit disappointed she's lost her pink socks, but we know it's Victoria. Then it looks like we've got Eden Sealy-Cunnington, then Armley Sanders, then Liang, then McGowan, then McLennan, and on the back there, Stella Kay.
Oh no, Stella put a different coloured shirt on if it is Stella.
Yeah. Trying to make things hard, Billy.
Yeah, well the light blue jersey stood out the other night, I got used to that. But as we said, I suppose some of them need a wash every now and then.
So 80 laps of Adamese Velodrome, that's a long way around when you've got no brakes, no freewheeling, you have to pedal that whole 20 kilometres.
Yeah, well, it could have been worse. I think they reduced the distance down because there's a junior under 19 women in there. I think the other distance is 25k for elites.
So 100 laps if you're an elite, 80 laps here for our junior and elite final. And it is a stacked field filled with 19s. We've got Liang, Sanders, Eden, Victoria, all under 19s. It'll be Lil and McGowan. The only under 19 rider's not there. I think Stella McKay's under 19.
I think she's 18 years of age, I'm not sure.
Round we go, off the front, and you called it, Billy. Straight off the front, Eden Sealy-Cunnington made a move.
It's the only way she rides. And then the others have got to think, well, what are we going to do? Who's going to chase? Do you want to chase? No, I don't want to chase. You want to bring her back? Go get her.
A good support from the crowd by Indy Plant, giving every encouragement to Eden Sealy-Cunnington. So good to see Indy here as well. She raced last weekend. Round she comes. Eden held the front for the last two laps, and as I said, Amelie Sanders, absolute weapon on the bike. She pulls that back quite easily. She drags McGowan, McLennan with her, and now Liang up there as well. Bit of a gap now to Victoria Smith.
Well, it looks like Victoria Smith might have spent all the pennies. Unfortunately for Stella Kay, she was on a wheel when she let that gap open. So what's going to happen now? Will they work together and try and get back up? Well, the bunch has slowed down. Courtney McGowan went to the front and swung straight up. Lily McClellan comes through now. No pressure on. Swing of the elbow there. I'm going up. All the riders just not taking full turns, all going up. Let's see what happens when number 43 comes through.
There's a chance here.
44.
Victoria Smith, she sees the opportunity as they've slowed down. She's going to try and catch up. Unfortunate thing here, with a lap and a half to go, or half a lap before they announce the sprint, as soon as they get on the back, the ladies are going to go again as well. So they've spent a lot of energy to get there.
Well, maybe once they get there, there'll be a little bit of respite before that bell goes. The bell will most probably go next time around. Yes, I can see Mrs. Bathersby there has the bell ready to go. Riders are bunching up now. McClellan on the front. Emily Sanders sitting there in a nice little spot, waiting to pounce. Ella Liang once again sitting on the outside. Courtney McGowan caught in a bad spot down on the bottom.
There's the bell. 1 lap to go for their first sprint. They'll sprint every 10 laps.
Sanders looks like she wants to take this out. She's gone to the front, not overly hard. None of the riders are going extremely hard because it's a long race yet. So it should go over. Emily Sanders should go over to take the major points. That'll be 5. 3 for Lily McCullen, 2 for Courtney.
And then 1 for Ella Liang.
Yeah, so that's how the points works. 5, 3, 2, 1, none.
So Sealy Cunnington missing out on that one, and you can see as soon as the girls up the pace, there was again out the back, Kay and Smith. They used a lot of energy to try and get back onto that bunch. And as soon as they got there, we heard the bell for the sprint, so they didn't even have time to recover.
Well, that's the problem when you're chasing down a bunch like that. When you get to the back wheel and the bell goes, well, you've got no hope of going with them. You just spend a lot of energy trying to get across that gap.
So you can see them working well together now. Kay and Smith working together, trying to get this bunch back. But we have 5 at the front. We've got Liang, we've got McGowan, we've got McLennan, we've got Eden Sealy Cunnington, and Amelie Sanders in there as well. You can see Victoria Smith, he's pulling that gap back. But they're running about the same pace as the front group. Pace really coming out as McGowan hits the lead. She slows it right down. She swings up now. McLennan takes over the lead. They know 80 laps is a long way. And catching onto the back now, Victoria Smith and Stella Kay. Smith goes straight around the outside. She goes, I don't want to spend all that energy catching up again. I'm going to go on with it. So Vic Smith, she goes around the front. McLennan gives chase. She'll take Liang with her. And then comes Sealy Cunnington, Amelie Sanders and McGowan. Kay, who only just caught up with Victoria Smith, out the back again. That makes it a long 80 laps, Billy.
Well, she could quite easily just swing up and wait for the bunch to come around and concede the 20 points and be back in with the main bunch. But not an experienced rider, as I said, only been in the track game for about 12 months. But look, here we are. The whole bunch has slowed down again.
And it's Eden Sealy Cunnington. She was off the front. She made a gap. She rolled up. Saw no one was behind. She's gone again. Sanders and Liang chase her down. And then it's McLennan and McGowan. And at the back again, we've got Smith and Kay joining up forces again.
Yes, so Victoria Smith caught the bunch last time, went straight around the outside, but as soon as another acceleration come through, she's got spat right out the back again. So maybe she should just try and roll around a bit with Stella and her swap a few turns and just get a little bit of recovery happening.
Now the gap opening a lot bigger this time as they roll around with 63 to go. So a lap and a half to go and they'll get the bell again.
Eden just hit the front again, put a bit of a gap in there, and the girls had to chase. She swings up. She's coming down the back now on a McGowan's wheel. Lily McClellan quite happy just to cruise through. There's no effort in those legs at the moment, I'll tell you.
So next lap around, they'll get the sprint.
Well, Liliana McClellan, see, not relinquishing first place now, knowing that she's going to get the bell next time. So it's a lot easier now for her to control the pace at the front, ride at the pace she wants to, and she hasn't got to come around 4 or 5 riders to contest the sprint.
Now Smith and Kay closing that gap. But
Well, Emily Sanders straight out of the saddle before the bell even started ringing. There's no one able to get onto her wheel. As I said earlier, she rides a pursuit. She can quite easily stay out in front of you and knows she can do this for 3,000 metres without a problem.
Super dominant Emily Sanders from the Gold Coast Cycling Club. If she comes round, she'll collect maximum points again. She'll get 5. Liang will get 3. McGowan 2. McLennan 1. And again, it's Sealy Cunnington who mixes it up. She misses out on the points.
Well, what you must remember, though, Sealy Cunnington is actually getting points because she's under 19.
True. McLennan and McGowan are
They're elite riders. So, yeah, so there's every reason why these riders have got to race, still race against each other. And that is why Eden's got to make sure she still stays up there amongst these people because she's in under 19.
So there's our standings. Sanders on 10 points. McLennan, McGowan and Liang all on 4. As Billy says, Kay, Cunnington, Sealy Cunnington and Smith will still be gathering points as they roll around now. Just under half a lap, the gap between Kay and Smith to the rest of the bunch. Didn't quite have enough to close the gap before that last sprint. We may find that by the time the next sprint rolls around, they may be lapped and lose their 20 points. But it is half a lap now as Sanders and Sealy Cunnington start to make some moves out the front. Eden Sealy Cunnington, she's always making some moves, animates a race. Sanders straight onto her wheel though. As the rest of the bunch, McLennan, McGowan and Liang, they're all right there. As they come around now, you can see Kay and Smith, they look around and they see the bunch is not far behind them now, only about a quarter of a lap between the bunch and Kay and Smith. Now they'll try and time this, that they do their sprint before they catch the back of Kay and Smith.
Well, the good thing for the 2 riders out the front to do will be just to increase a little bit, to try and stay out in front that gap for the next 4 laps, then drop back to the bunch, because they'll be just finishing the sprint, they'll steady off. They drop back to the bunch, they've conceded 20 points each, which still equals out there in the same category, but that'll give them another 8 laps rolling around to recover and then try and stay with that front group.
So they can time this to perfection. There's tactics in every single track race you go to. Now off the front, Sealy Cunnington again ups the pace. McGowan drops Sanders' wheels a little bit there. McGowan drops the head. She's trying to catch up. McLennan and Liang having to go around the outside. Sealy Cunnington, they make the catch on Kay and Smith. Now we're all back together. McLennan rolls around. McGowan on her wheel. Liang, Sanders, Sealy Cunnington. And they go straight around the top of Smith and Kay. They haven't got the energy to latch onto the back, Billy.
Well, they've already done a couple of chase downs, to get up there, so their legs are hurting. And have a look at that. Next time around, Stella Kay decided, no, I'm not going to sit around this time, I'm going with this group. But they'll get the bell next time around. So Victoria Smith has now picked it up a bit. Well, actually, no, Liliana McClellan went to the front and brought it back down a little. So she's brought it back. Once again, she will probably stay at the front.
Sanders around the outside. She's going to do the same thing. Before the bell, out of the saddle. She's going to try and dominate this and collect every 5 points she can, every 10 laps.
I reckon there's every chance that she's going to do it.
She looks around, she sees 20 metres, she can take it off. She's not using anywhere near the same amount of energy the rest of the ladies are using. So bang, Sanders with 5.
Well, that's what
3.
you see is...
McGowan sneaks in for 2 over the top of McLennan for 1.
Well, Daylight's been picking up all the second places so far.
Definitely. So it's Sanders in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have second place.
Yes. Yeah, a little bit like that, actually it is. But no, Emily is dominating this race. But the thing is, the interesting thing here is some of the minor placings, while Emily Sanders can over there take everything else, you've got 7, 6 and 5 coming back through your minor placings. So you've got a race within a race. And that's the thing in a point score race. You're lucky these days you've got a scoreboard to look up there. back when I was doing these things 20 years ago, there was no scoreboard. You had to do the maths in your head while you're riding around.
And Sanders has gone on with it now as well. She's already in the lead. So 15 points for Armley, 7 for Liang, 6 for McGowan, 5 for McLennan. But Sanders has decided, and you said it, she's an enduro rider. She's just going to go off an IP. She's going to try an IP 50 laps.
Oh, I tell you what, I bet you a pie she laps the field.
100%. She's not that far off. She's already gained.
She's got nearly half a lap.
metres.
There's nearly half a lap there now. But the other riders, she's that far in front. They know they can't beat her. They've got that in their mental mind now already. So what they are doing is checking out the other riders around them. Who is their main opposition? Who they need to beat? You know, why would you spend all your energy dragging your opponent up to another rider when they just sit on you and when they get there they go bang? So yes, they will be playing mind games in here. The only one that may do a bit of attack, of course, is Eden. But Courtney McGowan will be quite happy just to roll around. She doesn't want to go any harder than what she's going now.
So it's half a lap the advantage to Sanders. Sanders is going to try and time the catch. She won't want to get it before the sprint. She'll get the sprint and then try and latch onto the back. So collect the 5 points and then collect 20 for the catch as well. As we see, Kay's latched onto Armley Sanders' wheel. So it's really the 4 that are out there, Liang, McGowan, McLennan and Sealy Cunnington, they're fighting between themselves. So they know if they all go 20 points down, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, no, that's irrelevant. It's still on a level playing field.
Yeah.
See, the rules have changed somewhat, like many, many years ago. Once you lap the field, you were then the leader of the bike race because it was worked on distance travelled. So you were the leader of the bike race through the whole way, but now you gain 20 points. But if there's another rider in that bunch and you have other points that are on 20 points, you still have to sprint for them because it's worked out on the points, not on the distance travelled.
Correct.
Remember once a young junior under-19 rider, Lee Palmer, new to the sport at the time, over at the old Balmoral track, he lapped the field and working on the old theory was he's the leader of the bike race, but no one told him, and so he kept racing against all the sprints.
Yeah. All right, round we go. So Sanders, she'll get, next time around, she'll get the bell lap. So Sanders will collect the sprint. Then she'll look to go and catch the rest of the bunch. She's only about 50 metres behind the group of Sealy Cunnington, Liang, McLennan and McGowan now. As McGowan looks like she's struggling a bit. They've been out there for 40 laps nearly already. So this will be starting to hurt the legs a lot. You can see McGowan having to get out of the saddle.
I'll tell you what, Emily Sanders isn't going hard now, and she's just cruising, and Stella Kay can sit a wheel. So she's getting a free ride back up to the bunch. And by now, all the legs up here, they've been sprinting against each other. Stella Kay's been just riding tempo for most of the event. So there's every chance that she can get up there now, and if their legs are a bit shot, she may stand a chance of even picking up a few points.
It was a good move. And no, Sanders isn't looking to Kay to come to the front either. Sanders will ride her own race.
Well, she still rode away from her just then without even trying. But Stella's out there having a go, so she's got to be commended for that.
So you can see Armley, she won the sprint and now she's timed it. Now she's going to join the group. So she gets the 5 points, which she does, and now she joins the group. So she gets 20 as well. So super smart riding from Armley Sanders. So collecting 25 points in the matter of a lap and a half.
So she's just doubled the score.
Yeah, pretty happy with that.
Yes.
So as we get confirmation, so standings now, Armley on 40 points, McGowan on 9, Liang on 8, McLennan on 7, Stella Kay 20 points down, Victoria Smith 60 points down. As we see Victoria Smith, she pulls off the track.
Well, look, have a look at her program the last few days, though, Adrian. The amount of events she's been in, the amount of rides she's had, she's probably just about wrecked.
Unbelievable riding this weekend by Victoria Smith. So congratulations, Victoria. Hold your head high. She'll head back to Rocky tonight. As now we're back at the front, the usual 5 suspects. Liang on the front. Oh, look who's gone to the front again. It's Sanders. So they'll all be watching her now.
Well, Sanders just rolled straight up that time, and looks like Eden didn't hit it out that time, so maybe she's going to wait a couple of laps, let her legs freshen up a little bit while they're in cruise mode, because they've still got 30-odd laps to go. So,
or smart move, pull straight up, go right behind Armley Sanders.
Well,
you know where that's the move that's going to come. So,
well, that's the wheel you want to be on, isn't it? Where else would you want to be?
So if you can save your legs, only pull a couple of metres turn on the front, jump behind Armley Sanders again. When that sprint happens, she might find herself in a spot where she can gain 20 points because there's only 1 point between all of them at the moment, between McGowan, Liang and McLennan. We know Eden's getting points for under 19.
Yes, well, see, you don't need to try and beat. You're not going to beat Emily Sanders, so why waste your energy trying to do that? If you can get, there goes Eden again. But if you can get the wheel and just draft her across the line and let her drag you across for a few points,
so
that's how it's done.
Sealy Cunnington, Sanders, Liang, all starting to make a gap. Now these are our under 19 riders, so they're gapping McLennan and McGowan. McLennan doing the lion's share of the work to drag them back. Next time they hit the start-finish line, they'll get the bell for the sprint. So that'll be just as McLennan and McGowan join back on. Now you can see Kay, she's trying to latch on into that as well as she goes another lap down. Now, all back together. Liang thought there was a gap there. Kay slotted into that. Now Liang's going to have to go from the back. It's Sealy Cunnington on the front. Can Armley Sanders continue her collect?
Liang's are coming around the outside now. She wants to get some points. Emily Cena coming. She's holding her in a negative position now. Liang did have the advantage there for a moment, but Emily Sanders said, no way am I going to let you do that.
Now, Armley Sanders, unless something goes drastically wrong, has got this race wound up. So she didn't need to go for those 5 points, but that's pure dominance, correct?
Well, no, it is dominance, but what you got to remember is if you start getting in your head that you got this sewn up and you start backing off, it may become a habit. And you've got to be very careful of that. So you go for the win every time.
So make the habit of winning.
That's right.
So there we go. Standings after sprint 5 of 8. Sanders 45, Liang on 11, McGowan on 9, McLennan on 8, Sealy Cunnington up on the board now on 2, Stella Kay down 2 laps, minus 40 points.
But she's still going around.
Still moving.
That's the important thing.
Collecting points.
Stay out there.
Yeah, he's in the bronze medal position.
Well, there you go. Stella's
So there you go. We're just listening to the commissaires. So they're saying
Stella
Kay is in bronze medal position, and she's in the elite women. So she's fighting against McGowan and McLennan. So Stella Kay, even though she's 40 points down, is in bronze medal. So if she can finish the race, she walks home with a bronze.
I don't have any fear about her being able to finish the race. That's not the distance isn't a problem. It's the changing. As it's coming from a triathlon background, you get on your bike and you ride the one tempo all day. Out here, where you're mixing it up, you've got the paces on and off and on and off. And well, she's not used to that kind of riding, but she's getting there, and it's great to see her out here competing. And first state championships, take home a bronze medal. How good's that?
Be pretty happy with that. So we have two groups out there at the moment. We have our elite women, which is McGowan, McLennan and Kay. And we have our under 19 women, which is Sanders, Liang and Eden Sealy Cunnington. So Sanders dominating both fields at the moment, but she is racing for the under 19s.
Yes, but she still wants to win everything. As I said, you've got to get into that mindset that you've got to win. If you start backing off and playing games at time, well, you can do it in circumstances. I mean, some of the good riders have all done it over the years to let someone else take a win who's sort of led them out many a time or look after them in other situations. So you'll give someone a win every now and then. But here we go. Look at this. What's happened now?
Sealy Cunnington.
Sealy Cunnington off the front again.
So she's going early. So there's 3 laps to go before they get the bell. 4 laps to the sprint.
Well, Sealy can ride a pursuit too. She's not too bad on the old pursuit bars.
She's not a slouch on the bike, and from fine stock. Zane, as we were talking about earlier, Zane's daughter, Eden, out there now. She looks around, realises she hasn't got the gap, so she slows down her pace. She's going to wait now, wait for the group to catch up, take a bit of a rest before they come around and get the bell for the next sprint. All right, we're all joined up again. On the front, Armley Sanders, Liang, McGowan, Sealy Cunnington, McLennan. And now it comes through Kay. Kay's hurting. You can see the pain from up in the commentary booth. She's hurting, but she'll keep going for the next 20 laps.
Oh, she won't stop. She's going around. All she's got to do now, there's no need to ride any quicker than what she's doing.
And there goes Sanders. She's going to make a move again as well.
There must be a bell going to go.
Yeah, there's a bell going to go. So Armley kicks. Liang gives chase.
Funny, lately now we use the word Bell and Armley Sanders in the same sentence.
So you know the bell's going to go when Armley Sanders is out of the saddle, because the bell will go about 2 seconds later. So Sanders across the line. She'll take 5 points. Liang strong into second. McGowan and then McLennan.
And Eden, having spent a few pennies with all those attacks, is a little bit off the back now, but this group, Liliana McLennan will slow the bunch down. Eden will have no... There she goes, out of the saddle. She'll catch up to this group without any problem.
So that'll extend Liang's lead. Let's go confirmation. Sanders, Liang, McGowan, McLennan. So Courtney McGowan moves into, she's in first place for the elite women. Second place, Lil. Third place, Stella Kay. In the under 19s, it's Sanders, followed by Liang, followed by Sealy Cunnington. So Liang getting into that second spot. She just wants to get as many points as she can to try and make sure she secures second spot.
So it looks like everybody gets a prize, except for young Victoria, who is sitting down over there, hopefully having some electrolytes. Now we're coming around here now. We're getting down to the bottom end of this race. We'll get the call of 17 this time to go. So we still have 2 sprints to remaining. Emily Sanders should be able to get a perfect score. Plus 20. Can't get much better than that. Or you could if you could be plus 40, but still it's a good effort, good ride. Liliana McClellan's on the front now. Sanders is just sitting there. Liang's on her wheel. She knows where she wants to be.
So around they come. Sanders ups the pace again. You can see it. She just seated acceleration, opens the gap a little bit. So this makes the other riders tired as well.
Oh, yes, it does. And she can do that all day. Very good move by Stella then. Stella Kay come through and she realised, oh no, I'm at the front. So she quickly swung up. And this may, now that they've slowed down a bit, this may allow her to get a bit of a free ride for a few laps. Yeah, she put the head down there and she knows if she can get to that wheel, she can get a bit of a free ride.
And she gets up there, that's a good spot to be. She's getting a draft now. She can relax the legs, but as she gets there, guess who's on the front? Sealy Cunnington. She ups the pace.
Well, Courtney McGowan had stayed there. Stella would have loved that because Courtney wasn't going to go hard.
No. So, Sealy Cunnington and the lady reeling them in, Armley Sanders, on her wheel, Ella Liang. As those 3 go off the front, that's all our under 19 riders off the front. McLennan giving chase. McGowan on McLennan's wheel. Stella Kay, you can see, I can't believe I was on the back there and now they've just disappeared again. So she's back soloing around Anamir's velodrome.
Well, see, McGowan's only got a 2-point lead over Liliana McLennan, so there's not much there in that there. So they've got to keep an eye on each other. So Ella leads them around there now. They'll come in the call of this time to get 12 to go. So let's see what Liliana does now. She may just sit on the front and not worry about swinging up for a turn. Because I'm sure she'd like to get a couple of points to try and get her up on the level pegging with Courtney McGowan.
So we saw Liang, she did a very, very sharp turn up at turn 3. She wanted off the front very quickly. She's found herself back behind the wheel of Sanders. There's the bell. Something wrong here. Sanders didn't go before the bell. I wasn't ready for it. Round they come. McGowan over the top of McLennan. Round the outside comes Sanders. Got Liang on her wheel.
See, now McGowan isn't too worried about that because those riders are in a different thing. She'll just make sure that Liliana McClellan, quick look over the shoulder, make sure Liliana's not coming. So McGowan gains another point there, so she'll move up ahead a little bit further of Liliana McClellan.
And Sanders has gone on with it. There's 9 laps to go. She might try and lap the field again before the end of this race. She looks pretty comfortable, but no one's chasing.
There's no one chasing because no one's got any legs left. And if you can do it, no, she swung up. She decided she wouldn't go ahead with it any further. So Emily swung up to the top of the track. She'll wait for the other riders to come around.
No need for her to go hard. She's 55 points. Ella Liang in second spot, 17, so almost 40 points behind, 38 points behind.
And with only 5 points left up for grabs, it's not going to make a lot of difference, is it?
No, and looks like Liang, she'll have herself in a good position as well. So she sits on 17, so she should be clear of Sealy Cunnington now. So that'll give Ella Liang the silver.
Yeah, so the final sprint can still make a difference in the elites, depending on what happens with second and third.
Lil McLennan would need...
If Lily McLennan won and Courtney McGowan got any worse than second place, that'd put them on level tie.
So Lil's going to have to go hard.
Yes.
And she does. She makes a gap. She's gone, I need to go. I need to break this. I've got one chance. So with 6 laps to go, Lil McLennan...
She must have heard what I was saying.
Yeah, and no one's chasing. No one's doing the chase. So she instantly grabs a few lengths. Armley Sanders on the front.
Courtney's given up. Look, the head's down. The head's down.
So this could be disaster for McGowan. So if McLennan can come through and take the win, or even second to get the 3 points if McGowan doesn't get there in the points, that could take McLennan into the lead. But she's going to have to hold on for another 4.5 laps. And it's Sanders coming around. Sanders is not going to relinquish 5 points.
No, well, I don't think Lily's got any worries about Courtney now, because Courtney's quite happy just to roll around. Well, not quite happy to. She doesn't have any choice.
So mission success for McLennan. She's broken McGowan, got her off the back. Now she looks around. She can work with Sanders. She does. She drops straight back into Sanders' wheel, and they'll work together now.
She can't take the wheel. She hurt herself that much putting that gap in. She can't hold the wheel of Emily Sanders, who isn't riding that hard in her realm of hard riding.
As they come round, 2.5 laps to go now for Sanders, and you can see how much McLennan's hurting. But she can see that the gap is there to McGowan as well. But McGowan hasn't given up yet. She's still pushing. She's got Kay on her wheel. McGowan knows if she can get this, she can come back up.
But have a look who else is coming across the gap here at a great rate of knots, trying to get through there. Eden Cunnington pulled away from those other riders. She can't go far, but she's given it a go anyhow.
So there they go, together on the far side of the track. Sealy Cunnington, McLennan, Liang. And there's the bell for Sanders. She's already got half a lap over the rest of the field. This could be a parade. She could stop and collect a flag.
Well, she most certainly could. So Eden Cunningham found something. She's going hard again, so she'll come through and will probably hold on for second place.
Liang will want to try and keep an eye on that, because we don't know exactly how many points Cunnington's got in terms of the 19 places. So, but I think Ella Liang should be pretty comfortable in second. There you go, Sealy Cunnington comes across the line in second, Liang in third.
And young Stella had enough energy then to sprint over the top of McGowan.
No, I'm not sure McLennan got enough points. She came through fourth, so only 1 point for her, depending on how they arrange the points.
Oh, if they're getting their individual 5, 3, 2s and 1s, which I was working on.
Which you'd think then Lil would have done enough.
Yes.
To get through.
But we'll wait on the judge's decision on that.
Oh, and double points on the final. So.
Oh, okay.
So we'd say that. Oh, it's saying McLennan's come 1 point short of McGowan. We'll see how that washes out, though. If they were getting individual points for 19 and elites, or if they were just doing total points.
Well, we probably won't know that until we hear them read out the results a little later on.
One thing we know 100%. Armley Sanders, 65 points. Clear winner.
Yes. Yeah, that's no debate there.
All right, next up in our second last event of the night, or the afternoon, will be elite and junior men's scratch race.
This could be an exciting affair.
A decent sized field there and some big names. Tompkinson, Black, Blannon, Wang, Swart. We haven't seen Bernie Swart this weekend. I don't think he's out there. I don't see his customary black suit out there. Toby Jones, Archie Pratt, Ben Rudd, Temple, Hughes, Rickard, Gibbs, Goodwill. Geez, these under 19 riders, they don't stop.
Well, they're all out there ready to have a go. And I'm sure they'd like the glory of taking this event out. I just have to check on the board to see how long it is. The distance not in our program, so it's 60 laps. Just a minor oversight.
All right, now scratch race. We're off 60 laps. Luke Rickard, he'll lead them out. The visor goes on there for Noah Blannon. $60 laps, so no points anywhere in the middle. It's just first across the line at the end of 60. Tactical, you've got to be in the right place at the right time. If someone's going to go off the front, you need to be there. Otherwise, you spend a lot of cookies trying to catch up.
Yeah, the riders will be very watchful of each other out here now in this event, because we do have riders who like to attack, riders who like to take off from the front.
And we've got riders like Toby Jones that can quite comfortably go off the front. Alex Hughes, same thing. They can go off the front.
Both riders are quite capable of doing the ride on their own, and as you see, well, Alex has got his blue shoes back on. I'm sure that'll make you happy. As we just spoke of, here we go now. Have a look at this.
Toby Jones.
Toby Jones.
That young man can ride for days without looking backwards. And you see sometimes here on a Thursday night, Toby and Alex riding round behind the Derny for the QAS squad. Luke Rickard giving chase. He knows the danger in this now. Blannon with him as well. They're really starting to sprint up. They don't want to let Jones and Hughes go. If they let them go too far, it's game over. So different to a points race, Billy. If someone got a lap, they just maintain the lead, right?
They maintain,
yes.
yes.
Sit in the bunch.
They can sit in the bunch from then on in, and they maintain the lead. Because the points race is 60 laps, so it's a nominated distance. So if you're the first rider to cover 60 laps and you've gained a lap, well, you're coming in to getting lap 60 while they're coming in to get lap 59.
So you definitely don't want to let a rider get a lap, because then they just sit in the bunch and they don't even have to come across the line first because they're already a lap ahead.
Well, the thing is, it can get confusing unless you know how this kind of run. I was in a race in Townsville where this happened, and the commissaires were trying to call the two of us out that had gained a lap. They tried to split the bunch in the middle of a race to give us to sprint for first and second, and then the other ones had to go on for another lap to sprint for third place. It made it very confusing, I'll tell you.
All right, we see Tipple. He's had a big weekend. He's starting to struggle now. The pace of this 60-lap scratch race is high, and he's given a lot over the last 3 days, so he's out the back already. Well,
actually, most times you will find the efforts put in a scratch race are much harder than that to put in a points race, because there's predetermined times when you're going to need to put an effort in a point race, whereas and you know you've got to save your legs right through, whereas in a scratch race you can put a hit in at any time you like to try and break the bunch up, to try and get away, try and work someone over, what it is you want to do, because you can plan to do those sort of things.
Definitely, and that was right off the front there. Jones up the front again as well. They're all starting to form up now. Blannon on the front. He's wearing his ARA kit today. He's had a few changes today as well. Wang in there. Kyle Gibbs, he's in there. So the Townsville boys, can they team up and work something out?
No, come on. No collusion in cycling.
None at all.
No, never happens.
As we see a couple of QAS kits out there, I'm sure they've had a bit of a word to each other though about some tactics. As we see Blannon, he starts to make a move. As you just said, Billy, it can go at any time, and you've got to be ready to go for it.
Well, that's right. Yeah, you're not cruising around. Like in a points race, you can roll around, and 9 times out of 10, no one's going to move until you're coming in to get the bell. Whereas here, you just seen then Blannon just took a flyer from about fourth wheel. Really got the bunch stirred up.
And this is part of the tactics too. If you can disrupt the race, put the pace on and off, no one can get into a rhythm.
Well, that's right. And the other thing too is what you can do. You get in here, you do that a couple of times, and two of the other riders will watch you and think, yeah, and if one or two of them goes with you, and all of a sudden you've got a bit of a gap, you've got 2 or 3 riders say, okay, come on, let's go. And you can work together, and then the bunch will look around and say, well, who's going to chase, Well, you say, well, if you want them, go get them. And you get that next minute, you've got a 30, 40 metre gap, and that's a fair gap in a track race.
Definitely. As we see Tipple, he's off. So he's been called off by the commissaires. So good weekend, but it's Blannon off the front again. It looks like, is that Toby Jones giving chase? It's the 29. Yeah, it is Toby Jones. I shouldn't have had to even look at the start list just by the figure.
I'll tell you what was interesting then. Alex Hughes pulled up from second wheel, went to the top of the track, didn't try and jump on the riders that are in the breakaway, but just went to the back of the pack. So let's see, maybe he's hurting after a few days of hard racing.
Could be. So it's Jones, Blannon and Gibbs off the front. Not a huge gap. It's about 20, 25 metres.
And
There goes Hughes again.
once again, no big effort though from Hughes to bridge that gap. He just rolled at his own pace and then swung up after doing about 30 metres on the front.
So he must be pretty comfortable. Henry Goodwill, he looks to be in trouble at the back now as well. Blannon, he's trying to blow this apart.
I tell you what, the two riders out the front there now, if they get together, they will hold this.
Look who's coming though, Luke Rickard. He will be able to bridge that gap. If he puts his head down, guess who's going to come and join him? Alex Hughes. Get those two together and they'll close that gap quick smart. There they are, Rickard and Hughes, down the back straight. They've lost Jones. Was that a tactic?
That may have well been. So whatever was happening with Hughes before wasn't a major problem. Maybe he was just saving his legs a little bit early in the race. You know, still 40 laps to go.
He knew who he had to get rid of. Because there, look, Hughes straight to the front. Rickard with him. Now they've caught Blannon and Gibbs. But look in trouble. Toby Jones having to do a hell of a lot of work now to get back up on terms. Look at him go. Toby Jones knows what the trouble is.
He'll get across there. Look at that. Straight across.
Tyler Tompkinson, sorry.
That's Tyler. Toby's back over here.
Yeah, Toby. Now he's out there by himself with Wang. What are they going to do? Toby's having to put the efforts in now. He's seen Tyler do it. Can he do it as well? He's got to spend a lot of money now to get back up there.
Tyler's gone straight round the lot, gone straight through. Hughes swung up. Tyler went in between him and the bunch, and he's just taken off. And I can see Dad down there watching him now. Hey, Tonk, how's he going, mate?
So Tompkinson getting chased by Blannon, Rickard, and Hughes. There's a gap now to Gibbs and Jones. Jones really fighting to get back in on terms with these three in front of him.
You're going to have four chasing one here in a moment, so you have a team pursuit out after an individual rider. But
Jones still putting in big effort. You can see on his face how much this is hurting.
Tyler's starting to slow a little now. These other riders will get across to him. What he might do now is just close down a little bit, save his legs a little bit for these riders to come across. He's still got 30-odd laps to go. Then the blokes at the back might turn around and say, okay, leave that 10 metres. Don't close it. Leave him out there on his own.
Leave him out there. Leave Tyler by himself. Let him hurt for the split he's caused. And they can do that. They've got it under control. They're at the same pace. They're leaving it at 20 metres. Hughes on the front. You can see the urgency's taken out of that bunch. But Tompkinson out the front by himself. These guys are taking half-lap turns.
Yeah, well, you still got to be careful, though, because I know Tonk and I know Tyler. Remember, he's only riding Tempo 2 at the moment, so he's in his own little recovery mode.
The thing is, he doesn't get a draft. He doesn't get any lift from anyone else at all. He has to do every inch by himself.
He's got no one breaking his wind for him.
As Blannon goes to the front of the chasing Grat. Good dad joke from Billy.
Yeah, well, it took you a little bit, but anyhow, you finally got there.
I tried to ignore it, but you look like you want some affirmation. So
the chasing bunch now has grown. There's 6 riders there. They're all chasing down Tyler. Tyler's not going too hard. You can see he's looking around now, taking in the views. Out of the saddle. That's not an acceleration. That's just flexing the legs, getting a bit of the lactic out, rolling up to the top. Now Blannon hits hard, but he swings straight up. You're not going to keep it going on. Rickett swings up to the top. None of these riders want to do a bit of a turn now. They did have a hard chase. Hughes has a bit of a look around, and he swings up. None of these riders too keen to really carry this on too much.
I've seen a few of the Bundy riders, Black and Pratt, out of the race now as well. As the bunch, they'll catch up with the UQ rider of Wang, so he'll be out of the race shortly as well. Once he's been lapped, the commissaire is likely to get him off the track. As the field is thinning dramatically as we keep going. So we're all bunched up again. All the big names there.
They're all just looking around each other to go. Just under 30 laps to go now, the remaining distance. So 7.5 Ks to run. Or not run, they're going to ride it.
So Rickard on the front. Now they've settled into a rhythm now.
Yeah, they're rolling through for a little bit now, but don't think that's going to last long. You'll get around, they'll all roll around, get a bit of recovery, and then someone will turn around and throw a spanner in the works and take a flyer from the back, from the back, from the back.
Now, there are elite men and under-19s men in this race, so...
Once again, yes, individual placings.
So a few riders there. I know Jones, Rickard, Blannon, they are all under-19s. Blannon might be elite.
Oh, I'm not too sure about Tyler at the moment. He would be elite, I think, no we?
I think Tyler's gone to elite. I'm pretty sure he's been 19 for 2 years, I think.
Okay.
It's guesswork. I'm not 100% on that one. But anyway, 2 races within a race. There's the elites and there's the 19s.
Well, actually, we say that, but the riders do watch each other. They do know who they're up against, and they will watch them to a degree. But the others, they couldn't care less. They just want to win. I don't care who they beat. They want to beat everybody.
As we come through now, 25 laps to go. 5 kilometres. No, more than that. Six and a bit.
24 to go is 6. I'll help you out with your maths, Mr.
Perfect.
School Teacher.
So 6 and a bit, perfect.
I'll help you out with your maths, Mr. School Teacher. Okay, so 6 kilometres from that point. There we go. I'd have a bit of a look around there now. A few riders just having a little bit of a look around to see where everybody is.
Jones looks like he wants to go out on a flyer, so he went up high on the boards. There he goes, Jones. He can do this too for 23 laps. He can go out there and spin his heart out.
We'll have a look on the front of the bunch now. Tyler Tompkinson just had a bit of a look, rolled up, assessed the situation. Blannon's not even trying to cover that gap.
And Ben
he swings up.
finds himself in no man's land. He slides up.
Rickett on the front once again. Is he going to do the chase? No, he swings up as well. So the gap hasn't widened any distance. Hughes just sitting at the front. And he's rolled up. Wills comes through straight up to the front. All the riders at the moment now just swinging straight up. The gap hasn't and isn't any larger. The riders aren't really trying to bring it back that hard. Tonk just swings up as well. Blenheim now rolling through. All the riders rolling through doing short turns, just holding that gap as the rider comes through to get 20 to go.
So Toby Jones, he had a quick look over at the other side of the track. He saw the gap is about the same. He's in a bit of recovery now as well. He's maintaining the gap.
Well, you can see he's just riding tempo. He's not putting any urgency in there. He's going to come around and get the call of 19 to go. But remember, that gap, even though it's 70 or 80 metres, can be closed quite quickly.
Let me close within a lap. If there's a concerted effort from the bunch, they could close that up very quickly. Toby Jones wouldn't want that to happen, and he'll put in every effort to stop it. Now Toby out of the saddle again. Is he getting comfortable? Yeah, as he settles back down.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a stretch. Give the hammies a bit of a stretch, lower back a bit of a stretch. And the other riders now still maintaining that same gap.
So Jones been out by himself for about 4 laps now, so just over a kilometre. He's been out by himself, and no urgency in the chasing pack. They're not killing themselves trying to catch up. But it's Jones. Now he rolls up the track. He's going to just slow right down, let the pack chase him, and he'll jump on the back. Right up on the boards goes Toby Jones. Blannon in front. He increased the pace. He's got Rickard for company there as well. Now they're starting to split the pack up. You can see the UQ rider. He's off the back again. He's already a lap down. Now he's in for a whole world of pain as Blannon increased the pace. Now it's Rudd on the front.
Rudd not keen to do too much work there. He had a quick look, flick of the elbow. He swung up out of the road. Pace is brought back off a little bit now. No one real keen. Gibbs comes through. He's going to do a half lap this time. He hasn't been contributing much, but now he's in there. Again. Blenheim goes straight up.
Jones straight up. Rickard. He's got Hughes for company. Rudd's still there. The UQ rider back on now. Back on terms. Still a lap down though. As they come through now. Tompkinson rolls up. Gibbs on the front. Blannon on the front. Then it's Jones, Rickard, Hughes, Rudd.
So none of the riders doing any big turns at the moment. There we go. There we go. There's Tyler again. Let's see what happens this time. Oh, he didn't keep it going.
There was a bit more urgency. He saw Alex.
No, look at this. He's going to hit it again.
Now
False.
Tompkins is gone. He saw Alex Hughes pull up. He looked around. He's gone, well, I'm going to go again. 12 laps to go. That's not very far. It's only 3 Ks.
Toby just looked over his shoulder and see what was happening, and he wasn't going to do anything. Now Gibbs is out there, not the strongest one in the bunch, but he's given it a bit of a go. He's got Brennan on his wheel. Now let's see if Brennan can do anything about this. And he's got Alex Hughes coming there right there. No, it's not, sorry.
It's Blannon and Rickard.
Brennan and Rickard, yes. Then Hughes. And Hughes is not getting across there as quick as he'd like, I'm sure of that.
Look how fast Blannon's going down that back straight. They're really flying along. It's Rickard on the front. Blannon. Is that Hughes there as well?
Yeah,
They're
Hughes has
opening
come up.
their own gap. Jones in absolute agony. He's done a big chase already.
They're closing that gap quite quickly now on Tyler. But Tyler Tompkinson, he knows the catch is coming. He's swung up. These blokes have spent a lot of pennies to get across that gap. They're coming down now. 9 laps to go, just over the 2 kilometre mark. Blannon's still keeping the pressure on a little bit.
He wants
Hasn't
to
backed it right off.
He wants to open up that gap. He doesn't want Jones and Gibbs coming back. They want to maintain this gap. As the UQ rider, he goes another lap down. So it's a race of 4 at the front, and they've got about 60 metres over Jones and Gibbs. Jones put in a massive effort earlier on to try and catch back up. I'm not sure what he's got left.
Well, we're going to find out now. They come in now to get the call of 7 to go, and this is the penultimate event of the evening. Tonk swings up, hands it over to Rickard. Blennon coming through there now. Hughes rolling through for a position. Blennon hasn't shirked duty most of this event. A few of the other guys have been taking short turns. Blennon always puts in a good turn.
It's been Blennon and Tompkinson have really shaken this field up.
Oh, well, Tompkinson's shaking it up. Blennon's bringing it back together. One shakes it up, the other one shakes it down.
So they roll around. Ben Rudd sees them coming as well.
Well, it
He's
didn't
gonna
take-
try and stay on.
Didn't take long for him to get lapped, did it? Once he got blown, he just went straight to the top and just rolled. He said, that's it. Now, if I can get a free ride home, I'll take it, just as long as it doesn't interfere with the outcome of the event.
5 laps to go. 1,250 metres of Animere's Velodrome in Brisbane.
Whoa, yep. He should be get out of there. Get him out of there. He's going to interfere with the event. He's done it already. He's already interfered with the outcome of the race.
So Rickard got caught out there by Rudd. Now he has to hurt. Rickard, you can see the pain on his face as he's trying to catch up. But look at the pace from Tompkinson and Blannon on the front. Hughes there as well. They've opened up that gap. They've got rid of 1 rider. They're down to 3.
3 laps to go. 3 riders to go. Blennon leads them around. And he swings up, hands it over to Hughes. Quick turn. Tonk's sitting there now. They're all doing very, very short turns. None of these riders want to lead the other rider out. And unfortunately for Rickard, he was taken out by Rudd earlier on. That's the thing you've got to worry about with lap riders. They come in and join in the field, they'll create a gap. And he also took him up the track. It was close to another fall there with the front wheel connection. So the riders coming in around now, they'll be eyeing each other off. Hughes rolling up,
So
having a look around.
He's catching up, but it's only a lap to go. He's not going to catch
They're
up.
going to get the
now.
bell this time around. Hughes is leading them out.
Hughes, Tompkinson, Blannon, round they go.
Blennon will take a flyer. He's going to try and take a flyer from the back, but he hasn't got any legs left. He's used them all. Hughes is leading them out. Has Tonk got a little bit left? Takes a bit of a swing up on turn 3.
Alex Hughes up
Alex
the pace.
Hughes is holding it there, and he's going to take it out. It'll be Alex Hughes, Tyler Tompkinson, Noah Blennon, and unfortunately for Luke Rickard, he comes in 4th place.
Yeah, Luke just been caught up with Rudd. He was on the tail, and then he got pushed up the track, and
Well, he nearly got brought down over there when they come in over the fence over there. When Rudd did realise he had interfered, he went to swing up, and Luke was trying to go around the outside of him and just about clipped his front wheel. It caused him to falter, and so once he checked his speed, the other riders at the front were going. He had no hope of getting back on.
so good ride there from Alex Hughes. Well measured. You could see that he didn't chase everything down. He knew what he was capable of, and he swung up even when there was a gap. He swung up. He waited for someone else to close the gap, and smart ride. He comes across the line first.
Yes, well, that was a very smart ride. The riders were trying things. Tyler Tompkinson knows what his strengths are, and he knew if he could get away and hold it, he'd be right. But one of the things that happened there when the other riders were coming around, they got a group of about 4 riders behind him, all doing half lap turns for about 6 or 8 laps, and Tyler was sitting on the front doing it on his own, while the other riders were getting a little bit of respite.
So good ride. So that'll bring our last group race. We'll come into now for our final events of the afternoon. It'll be our team sprints.
We may have a few presentations just before the team sprint.
A few presentations.
I like presents. Oh, no, there's Asians with them. Oh, well, there we go. So, see what's happening. I haven't seen any movement down. Yes, there goes the banner goes up. This is one of the most precision jobs I've seen being performed here at the Velodrome. Apparently, if you don't get this exactly right, all fall down. So we just wait a little while now till we get ready for our presentations. And then we'll be back for the final event of this afternoon.
In third place.
Okay, we now have the presentations for the
Under 17 sprint. Elite women's sprint.
elite women's.
Sprint.
Is that the elite women that are out there?
Elite
Yep.
women's sprint. And Molly McGill.
I can't see her that far.
What are we waiting for? Yeah, in third place we have. What does he want? In third place? He's going to be in there or something. In third, just saying. What are they?
But I don't know who it is.
Oh yeah, Molly McGill in third place. That's from Balmoral Cycling Club. Yes?
All right, so our sprint from Balmoral Cycling Club in third place, taking home the bronze medal, Molly McGill.
Danica Blinko's in second.
Yep. In second place, taking home the silver, Danica Blinko.
And Sophie Watt.
And in first place, taking home the gold medal with a great ride, Sophie Watts. All right, up next for our junior 19 women for their sprints. In third place, taking home the bronze medal, Olivia Wright from Balmoral. In second place from Rockhampton, riding extremely well and everything today, Victoria Smith. And in first place from Balmoral, taking home the gold, Ella Liang.
Yep. Yeah, they're down there.
Number 60.
All right, so this is for our ladies' points race. So for the elite ladies, in third place, taking home the bronze medal, Stella Kay. Stella coming from Balmoral in second place, taking home the silver from UQ, Lily McLennan. And in first place, also from UQ, Courtney McGowan taking home the gold. All right, for our junior women under 19 for their points race. In third place, taking home the bronze for the Scotty Balmoral team, Eden Sealy Cunnington. In second place, also on the Balmoral Scotty team, in second place, taking home the silver, Ella Liang. And an absolute dominant display from the Gold Coast Cycling Club, taking home the gold, Amelie Sanders. All right, for our junior men under 19 scratch race. In third place, from the Balmoral Cycling Club, taking home the bronze, Mr. Toby Jones. In second place, from the Gold Coast Cycling Club, taking home the silver, Luke Rickard. And in first place, taking home the gold medal, Alex Hughes. For our elite men scratch race. In third place for the University of Queensland, taking home the bronze medal, Yuji Huang. In second place, taking home the silver, racing for ARA, Mr. Noah Blennon. And in first place, taking home the gold, Tyler Tompkinson. Good job from all our riders. And for our last event of this Queensland State Track Championships for 2024, we'll finish up with our team sprints. Okay, for our final event, this is our bronze medal ride-off. On the front straight, we've got our team from Townsville. It'll be Goodwill, Gibbs, sorry, that'll be Goodwill, Gibbs and Preston. On the back straight from UQ, we'll have the team of Clark, Macris and Jackson. Just waiting for our UQ team to get settled. The clock started.
Well, this could go a little either way. If you have a look at this in the ride-off, there's 0.5 of a second between these two riders, and that could have been of anything that's happened. See if any of these riders have been out spending pennies.
Now, in the qualifying, we did see Goodwill and Macris get huge starts. They left their second wheel behind, so...
Well, that's the thing is, second wheel should be calling them back a little bit, because if you've got a big gap, that means the second wheel, you've got more than a 10-metre gap, the second wheel is doing 2 laps on the front. And because we've just seen Gibbs hasn't long ridden. He was in the... he was just in that scratch race, so his legs may be a little bit weary too.
Good start from Goodwill and Macris as they get around. Macris really starting to pump. Macris getting a big gap out again already, so it's Clark into second wheel this time. It's Jackson.
Jackson's
the UQ team. He's gone out super quick.
Gone out too quick, way too quick. That leaves Clarkey doing it on his own, like...
They're about even Stevens, but Clark's had to do a full lap by himself already as Clark comes around. It's even Stevens. They come across the line. Clark now with half a lap to go. He'll swap over to Macris. Macris comes along. UQ with about a bike length.
They've got a little bit of a gap, and Macris likes riding those kilos, so he should be able to bring that in. Let's see how he's going there now.
Yeah, not much, only a bike length as Macris comes in, and Preston on this side of the track. Preston into the front straight. Preston will get it over Macris.
That'll give them a win there.
So Townsville, they'll take home the bronze medal in the team sprint. For UQ, Paul Jackson just going out too hard. Adam Clark needing to do 2 laps by himself.
Well, both teams improved on their original times. Uni by half a second. They've ridden quicker. Townsville have improved by 0.7 of a second quicker. And you might have noticed that in the Townsville team this time, there was no big gap between that first and second rider. And that may have been the telling part of the whole event.
Yes, a good ride by Goodwill on the front. Henry Goodwill made sure his second wheel was not too far behind him, was able to drag him around. UQ, Jacko off the front, but he was about 20 metres in front by the time he crossed the line, and Adam Clark had to do too much work on that second lap.
Well, Clark did close up a bit of a gap on that second lap, but it just couldn't be do it because Jacko and the Goodwill were on the level pegging as they crossed the line, but Clark was still 20 metres to travel. But anyhow, that's things that happen, and you don't have time to talk about it, but we often used to say, well, it's the second rider to call the front rider back a little bit, but then if the front rider comes back, if he slows down too much, he's got to try and get going again. So it's all very hard. So you've got to be talking right from the word go.
All right, this will be a good gold medal matchup here for the QAS squad on the front straight. Mitchell Louis, Ryan Elliott, Byron Davies.
Well, there's on paper there's 2 seconds, so
On the back straight, leading us off will be Josh Gluhack. He'll be there with Bryson Fletcher and Dan Bucknell. What can they do? They need to pull back a lot of time. Out of the gates they go. Good start by Mitch Louis. Much more controlled this time around. Gluhack off to a good start as well for this team. As they come across the line, Mitch Louis got a big gap. Ryan Elliott now saying to close it down. Gluhack with a good start. Bryson Fletcher though, he's left his third wheel behind. Bryson Fletcher on a bender, but he's got third wheel. The QAS squad, line astern, Elliott and Davies, they look well under control. Fletcher across the line. Round they come. This is a QAS squad. They're in front by a couple of lengths. Byron Davies, he's got about 15 metres now over the other team. Round he comes, Byron Davies. He'll bring home gold for the team from Balmoral. Byron Davies, Ryan Elliott and Mitchell Louis. Coming home with the silver will be Bucknell, Fletcher and Gluhack.
yes, well, a bit unfortunate there for the UQ team. Basically, UQ team, the bit of a gap there to their third rider because the other 2 riders held it. But once again, that's how it goes. He was about 5 metres off the back of his other rider, but still, at the end of the day, there was still a 2-second gap. So, at the end of the event, but all good. We all have medals to take home.
Short gap before we do our presentations and the close of our championships here at Animere's Velodrome.
You can't tell how loud that is in here. Let me do that, do we?
No, turn that off.
I'll leave it like this in case. There is a way to stop it from doing that. And I just can't. So what it's doing is doing a search.
Yeah, trying to get the
Scanning. It's scanning
Yeah.
all the time. Look, look. There's a way to turn it down. I think.
Right, you good to call the prezos, Billy?
Can do if you like.
Yeah, we're gonna go home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got UQ prezzo this afternoon, so I'll go and get down there for that.
I've got to go and work.
So yeah,
Yeah.
where you working?
Oh, I've got 3 lines I've got to do. I just couldn't get time to get done last week.
Oh, do you want me to finish it off then? You go and
Oh, I can do it.
get going.
Well, do you want to do it?
I'll do it. You get
Oh, yeah,
get
okay.
moving.
I'll do that.
Mowing lawns is more important than me going to hang out with UQ.
Everything in mind. That's your pen, I think, isn't it?
Yep.
You had some big jobs last week, just couldn't get everything done in time. There were 3 lawns left to do on Thursday. Some of the lawns I went to, they wanted extra done, and they were just thrown over, and just one thing led to another by the home.
Yep.
Probably at home.
That bit of rain and humidity as well has been crazy. All right, our presentations for our elite men team sprints. In third place from the University of Queensland, taking home the bronze medal, Adam Clark, Peter Macris and Paul Jackson. In second place, taking home the silver, the UQ and Bendigo team of Dan Bucknell, Bryson Fletcher and Josh Gluhack. And in first place and taking home the gold medal from Balmoral and QAS, Byron Davies, Ryan Elliott and Mitchell Louis. All right, on to our under-19 team sprint. In second place, we're a mixed team from Bundaberg. Cam Tipple, Archie Pratt, and Joey Black. Sorry, Ben Rudd. Joey Black, sorry, of course, in the elite. And
Ben Rudd in black.
sorry, taking home the gold medal from the Townsville Cycling Club, Henry Goodwill, Kyle Gibbs and Harry Preston. Congratulations to all our riders. That concludes our 2024 Queensland State Championships for the elite para and under 19. Don't forget to tune in for the Austral Wheel Race down in Melbourne later on this week. Travel safe. Have a good weekend.